Hello, my beautiful gemstones. Welcome to Friday night's live intuitive oracle with myself and Ghostdragonzw. He's feeling pretty good tonight. We had to cancel Lara's stream last night because he was sick. He was going to do it, but stubborn man. You know what I'm saying? No offense, guys. So yeah, it's been an interesting week. Little guy's back at school, but I also had doctor and like a bunch of other stuff to catch up on. But come Monday, I am back to full-time schedule, and hopefully not this coming Tuesday, but the Tuesday after, we can get afternoon talk back. If you're on my Facebook, I kind of teased you guys with that a little bit last night. I can't lie. It's been a very interesting week. I've gotten some visions and revelations about some things, and I'm struggling with ability and faith again. So I'm kind of working through all of that. And there's been some good news. There's been some pretty exciting news, and I'll share that with you guys as we go through this. I will say right from the door, guys, if you can donate, please do. I think in the last 6 weeks off YouTube, so YouTube takes 49% of everything, and I get paid once a month on the 21st. If the 21st is Saturday or Sunday, they pay me on Monday. I've made, I think, less than $60 in Cash App PayPal donations in 6 weeks. So we have a dragon whose birthday is coming up, and I would like to be able to get him a gift from the group, but I'm broke. So yeah, PayPal, Cash App, if you guys can, buy the books, all that jazz. Personals. Oh, Halloween helper boxes. I am currently taking orders for those now. You can get things like this. This is a healing charm bracelet. It's Dalmatian jasper, black obsidian, and rose quartz. This is to heal traumas. And it's actually working wonderfully. I've got a golden obsidian ring. You never know when I'm going to pop in one of there. The last person I sent a box to got a pink Stanley Cup. It's like, whatever. I also sell sprays just individually, and it'll have like a crystal as like a little gift. And I sell rollers, crystal rollers, and they're all handcrafted by me with homemade moon water that I've been making for years, and infused with crystals. And they're specifically for whatever it is you're going through spiritually. I'm taking dates for video calls for spiritual issues. So those are paid calls, guys, not just like I want to get on a video and hang out, but only because I really don't have time for that. So if you want to contact me as a friend, as most of y'all do, just text me. With all that being said, and I will repeat that later on because I need money. I need to get paid, yo. Let's say hi and get the show on the road. Bat Mom, don't take a dang nap until I do your reading at least. Mama Cindy, what's up, sweetheart? Bat Mom, Miss Lotus Girl, I know you're so busy, honey, and I'm praying so fervently for you and Porky. So I got your text the other day, and then I was like, I'm going to listen to these, and I texted you back, and then I didn't get a chance to listen to them. So anybody else who that happened with, it's not just you. It's my best friend, too. It's like very hard. So, but I'm getting to everything. Josephine Van Dam, what's up, girl? Bat Mom, if you don't answer, I'll just timestamp you later. You know, you don't ask every week, so it's not a big deal. And Lotus, I didn't mean that against you. I know why you need to do it every week. It's not a big deal with you. You pay me privately for readings. You contribute. No big deal, guys. And Edna, it's so nice to see you. Blue Crossroads, boy, do I have something to tell you. Wendy Williams. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Smoochy Latro. Hey, yo. Miss Candy B, so good to see you again. I'm so glad you are a regular gemstone now. Mike J, love my Fridays off. Yes, and I love my Fridays on, right? Miss Paranormal Pixie, what's up, girl? Black Dragon. So I got an interesting story I'm going to tell you guys real quick. So when I went to my doctor on Wednesday, I had to Uber home, which was super expensive, guys, but had to do it because I had to get here by the time my little guy got off the bus. 3 Ubers canceled, all like they were all 2 minutes away and they all canceled. I guess because it's an hour drive, they didn't feel like driving like out into the country or whatever. So the guy who pulls up, as soon as I get in the car, I'm like, just so you know, I'm not being rude to you. I'm going to have earbuds in because I'm working, right? Because I kind of just wanted to be left alone. I had a long morning. And he's like, no problem. But he keeps talking and he keeps talking and he keeps talking and saying, I'm sorry, I'm still talking. What's up, John? Yeah, a little bit. So he's interesting, though. He's a pastor. He's an elder African-American man, probably in his 70s or 80s. And his name was David, I believe. And anyway, we get to the point where like he's praying and in the car, and like I've got my hand on my head and I'm releasing, and it was so powerful. I was in tears and I even started to get a little sick, which means there was an attachment on me. And so I told Blue Crossroads about it, and he's like, I bet you that was like an angel. If you go back and look, it would be cool if there was no Dave, right? And like he was just visiting you for the prayer of deliverance. So I'm thinking about that and thinking about it. And then yesterday I'm like, let me give David a compliment, because I'm going to give him all the compliments because he was just so great. And he really like made my day. Yeah, they had the driver down as the initial driver who had canceled as the person who had driven me, and there was no David. Just saying, guys. It was definitely very interesting. I don't believe he was a spirit, as in like a deceased person, but possibly an angelic being, an angelic spirit. So I did kind of get that feeling off of him, and I saw it all around him. But I figured he's a pastor, he's close to the Lord, so I thought that that was super duper interesting. So yeah, empaths can definitely. He actually said that to me. That's so weird. All right, let's bring in the Ghostdragonzw and let's get started with the readings. I got my kind of a big deal shirt on tonight because I've lost 6 pounds and I've got a cool new do. So yeah. Okay. Okay, you're on mute. So, and I just did something with my screen. Hold on. I hit something, so it took up my entire screen now. I can't see anything, and there's no X to exit out. Okay, so now I have Microsoft starting 3 times. Sorry, guys, it's been a long week. We're still coming out of the retrograde energy. Multifaceted Jules, Roger, Blair, what is up? Yeah, Latro, it actually was like $85. And I'm thinking like, okay, so where did my money go then? You know what I'm saying? Maybe it went to the first guy and he was like bonus fare, or like, I don't know. I've seen stranger things happen. So John, yeah, definitely feeling good and feeling like I'm looking good. Thank you, Miss Candy. Yeah, this was a good one. Aw, your friend David. My friend David surprised me the other day. Hadn't seen him in a long time. He calls me Ma. I love it. I love it. I love it. We have a birthday coming up in the group, and if y'all want to donate to get Sir Ghostdragonzw a gift from the group, I would really appreciate it. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it on my own, so help with that. It's the 16th.
Don't say it.
What? When's your birthday?
In the past. I'm older than the mountains. In fact, the mountains are just babies to me.
Miss Pixie, actually, it's not. And I still have the ones that you sent. I've got the purple one right here and the unicorn one. Every time I put them on, I feel like I don't look right. I don't know why, but they're the few that I kept out. Also, the short blonde one that I wear a lot of the time, that's from you. But instead of like stuffing them away, I kept them out because I know like when I've worn them, they looked good on me, especially the purple one. I just have to find like the perfect outfit for the unicorn hair.
Mike, you're still a baby. Mr. Behold, you're still a baby.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, this is my Merlinite. Older than the mountains. Total Guerra, what is up? Oh, it was a decade after my birth that the will was discovered. And Anna says that I was right about her trips being canceled. Well, it wasn't me, it was Spirit, but good. Thank you for the validation. I mean, not good because I'm sure that it caused agitation for you, but good in that Spirit is that connected to you and you can get the messages through me. Total, if you want a reading, let us know. We'll bump you if you have to go. I think you've got a little one. Thank you, Miss Pixie. All right, let's get started. Mama Cindy, are you back?
Yes, I was just going to say, Mama Cindy, are you here, Mama Cindy?
I just love this bracelet, though. Dalmatian jasper, rose quartz, and black obsidian. It's for healing trauma. Love it. It's pretty. It's very, very powerful. I still want that Moldavite Labradorite pendant, and I swear, whenever I get contracted again, I am gifting that to myself. It's on my wish list. I put it on there. I see you, girl. I'll take a bump. All right. If that's what we're doing, that's what we're doing. Now, he was trying to do Laura's stream last night, and I told Laura what was going on with him, and she's like, absolutely not. She's like, no. And I'm like, I agree, but he's going to be stubborn. She's like, no, I can't do it. No. And like I said, we're going to have a new lineup. We're going to have the girl talk. I'm probably going to invite Miss Pixie to join us in the afternoons whenever she wants to, even if it's not like a regular thing. Yes, that's a Steelers tattoo on my arm. What are you thinking? Actually, do you know more females than male know what this is? I've had men be like, is that the primary colors? Are you an artist? And I'm like, because I didn't get like the little Steelers thing, I guess. I used to work at a sports bar. I got tons of like really big tips because of this during football season. Purple isn't a color, but a shade. Mind blown. I didn't know that either. Yeah, Total, we'll get you if I could ever stop rambling. Why are you so sad? And Obsidian, yeah, so Lotus Girl used to send me these giant crystals, and she would send me one every month. And one of the ones she sent me, I actually use it for scrying, is this giant black obsidian crystal ball. I guess it is a crystal ball. Oh, thank you, Miss Wendy. I was really excited for this one. And one more thing I'm going to say before we get started. Yes, Mike, you definitely do. One, I just told a company that they like bought out this. I have a $320 credit card that I never paid. And I'm like, okay, I do need to pay it, obviously. But they like sold it to this company. So I'm like, I never heard of that company. I don't owe that company. I'm like, and plus I identify as debt free. So, and I literally said that and just sent the email because I will pay you when I can. Like I tried to make like this payment plan where I paid them like $10 a month, which is all I could afford. And they didn't want it. So you don't want it now. Suddenly you want it. Well, I don't have $10 a month to give you. Yeah, fluffy blonde wigs. Absolutely. Oh, it might not be pretty, but it'll be hilarious. So one more thing is, I don't know if you guys know the short wig that I wear with the part like this, but it's like a peach color. I've got a long one like this coming. Oh yeah, I'm excited. All right, let's get Mama Cindy. And then if we can do Total in case he has to fly. I was going to say flee. I don't know why I was just telling Ray today, I'm like, listen, anytime in the next 2 weeks when there's time, because I don't drive, no public transportation. I'm like, I need a haircut. Like my regular hair is so flat and dull. I haven't gotten a cut in like, I don't know, like 2 years. Drop my tissue. Okay. Mama Cindy, let's use Magic of You. They took it away in a bag. Mine is down to the middle of my back now, but there's like nothing to it. It's just flat, straight hair. You know, like I want to get some layers in it and get a little poof to it, I guess. I've been using the Native Cucumber Mint shampoo. Works amazing. The Native Cucumber Mint deodorant that they charge you like $14 for a small stick. I got it on sale because it was the last one in Walmart. They were trying to get rid of it. It was like $3 and change. Smells amazing. Does not work. All right, Mama Cindy, you got Detox, Cleanse, and Restore Yourself. Card number 3. Social media, electronics, mind-altering substances, food, all of these things can be toxic and damaging when overindulged. Detox says it's time to cleanse your body and to cleanse your soul. What's up, Ryan? Rest is required now, especially in matters of an overstimulated mind and emotions due to social media and smartphones. Communication in excess is toxic too. It's time to be quiet and consider your authentic self and create space to heal and deal with life up to this point. The girl in Detox is lying down on a soft bed of shifting leaves, the carafe of liquor set aside for now. She has a wonderful life and her dreams are sweet, even when they are laced with fear. Because she's not afraid of learning lessons. They float from her subconscious like luscious pearls of bliss because she knows when to rest and retreat in order to expand within. Detox is also the card of dream interpretation. It's time to pay attention to your dreams, Cindy. They are not just flushing out your active brain. There are messages and signposts coming through to guide you. So some downloads coming in through your dreams. Love that. So I know that a lot of people are like, I don't remember my dreams. And if you're one of those people, Mama Cindy, I would say that, like, as you lay down to try to fall asleep, if you're not one of those types of people like me that just like passes out randomly and like you don't even realize you're going to be sleeping, make like a conscious effort in your mind to be like, I'm going to remember my dreams tonight. Even if you wake up and don't remember it, I would write down the first 3 words that come to your mind when you wake up, leave it, and then do this every day for 2 weeks, then go back and read it. And it will make sense to you. You are receiving subconscious and super conscious downloads while you're sleeping. What the universe and your spirit team are trying to tell you, I have no idea. But one of the things I know for sure is that you need to take a break from just communication in general. I feel like there is something here, and I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm feeling like very, very stressed out. I'm feeling like this sense of obligation. Like I felt it before where like I don't want to talk to someone, but I don't want to be rude. So I'll message them back once. And then all of the sudden, like I have this like anxiety in the back of my head of like, I've got to respond to them. Now I've got to respond to them. Not like with my friends who like I enjoy having conversations with, where I'm like in the back of my head, it's like, make sure you get back to that person. This is like, there's something negative here. Someone trying to, over the phone, specifically, I'm seeing through social media, any kind of electronic communication or contact, someone trying to pressure you to do something. And I don't know exactly what it is. I feel as though, whereas normally you would just be like, not doing that. Bye. Like, and set and enforce that boundary. For some reason, you don't feel either as confident in doing that as you normally would, or you just don't feel like you should. There's some stress here with communication. And honestly, I don't even know what I would do if my spirit team told me I couldn't use my phone for a few hours. But here's what I would say. Instead of saying something that is that would be harder to follow through with for anybody, right? There's no judgment there. It's just what we're used to. My mentor once suggested that for like an entire week, I wake up and don't touch my phone at all, even if it rings or beeps or dings or whatever, for a full hour. And I got to tell you, in that week that I was doing that, I was a lot less stressed in the morning. I felt a lot more grounded and like spiritually connected. I don't know why I stopped doing it. And now that it came up, I think I might go back to that because I'm up really early anyway. So not too many people are communicating with me. So, Mama Cindy, definitely beware of allowing other people to stress you out, particularly through phone calls, but through electronic communication. Also, I feel like somebody's like commenting, like making posts on social media that are about you, and then like being like, that's not about you. Get over yourself. It is about you. And I feel like you should confront them, not in like a violent way. Obviously, I'm never telling you to go out and be violent, but you should say to them, like, I know that's about me. Like, let's not do the frenemy thing anymore. You definitely have a frenemy in your midst. I don't like them. Obviously, if you're abusing drugs or alcohol, which I don't think you are, but if you are, it's time for detox. All right, total. Um, let's use Halloween. Oh, I have this really pretty new Halloween background coming. So it's Bugos. I'll show you guys later, but it's pink and black. Instead of orange and black, it's pink and black. It's really cute. Nice, Latro. By the way, I don't know if you got my email, because I saw that you had like tried to call me through Facebook. I do not use Facebook Messenger. I made the exception for Ryan, but I don't use it. And Grey Wolf, I send her readings through there, but I won't use it because of the feed people. And also talking on the phone gives me anxiety. So that's why I was like, yeah, just text me if you want to. So always feel free. It will go with my hair. See, green is my favorite color, but pink is definitely my second favorite color. So I've been taking something called I believe it's called Stacked, STACKD. on top of Skinny Fit collagen peptides, I've lost 6 pounds. The only thing that happened that made me very concerned was that for 3 whole days, I wasn't hungry. So I hadn't noticed I didn't eat until I literally fell over. And then I was on the phone with Steven. And when I tried to eat the pork chop I had warmed up, I had to cut it into tiny pieces and shove it in my throat because I kept gagging on the food. So it almost works like too good. Like, you got to be careful. So I've only taken 1 a day. I'm not trying to become, Skeletor, but there's nothing wrong with being a certain weight, but if that's not what you're used to, it just doesn't feel right on me to be 157 pounds. All right. Yes, I did. I did get your picture. Finally, it takes me forever to do anything. Check emails, get back to text, but in the rebrand that is coming up, I am planning very much on working on that and maybe allowing Steven to get more involved with emails and stuff like that so that I don't have to always deal with like the bulk of them. Okay, so total, you got invisibility, the card of authenticity. Little man just got done, so it's 7:32. 2 minutes ago, his first ever soccer practice ended. I'm so proud, and tomorrow's his first game. Miss Cindy, could we just have his first name, please? Mama Cindy says, I would appreciate it if everyone could keep my brother in their thoughts and prayers. He's back in ICU. Thanks. Latro, that's what I've been doing on this pill, not on purpose, but like just because my downfall is ice cream. It literally is ice cream. All right, total. Heart beating, we sense but do not see. They touch, we chill, they come unseen. You know that feeling you sometimes have that someone's watching you and you can't see them, yet you have a distinct feeling that quote unquote someone is there. All of the hairs are up on the back of your neck. You think you see something in the corner of your eye, but when you turn, there's nothing to be seen but empty air. This is the power of invisibility, the indirect fear and the covert threat of having to fight something that we cannot see. Humans have a strong visual sense, so it's no wonder that we are uneasy about things we cannot see. The ancients believed that all manner of creatures, mythical and physical, and of course the deities, could make themselves invisible at will. When we consider that some animals are camouflaged so well by their coats or behavior that sometimes even if we are looking straight at them, they are hard to see within their environment, that invisibility isn't such a far-fetched concept. In many cultures, the idea of beings who could watch us undetected were and still are common. Jinns, angels, nature spirits, the fae, and even practitioners of magic, such as witches, are said to have the power to appear and disappear at will. Cowie, hi, you too. Later in literature and then in movies, invisibility becomes a common power, and we now have fictional superheroes that are invisible and even cloaks of invisibility. The concept of invisibility is a double-edged sword. Whilst it is a powerful tool to be able to gain information or to assist whilst no one sees, individuals using it are privy to information that may not be meant for them, and it may be taken out of context or unethically. It is a power of manipulation, and it can be easily abused. The idea of hiding away and not being seen is also a big part of the dark side of this concept. We are all born to shine our light into the world and to take our roles. Hiding our talents, not expressing our true selves, stealing others' ideas or work, and being someone else rather than your authentic self are all aspects to consider when this card should appear in your reading. So, yeah, Callie, don't leave if you really have to. But it'd be cool if you stuck around for a little bit. So, total... I'm getting kind of a weird few messages here. So the first thing I'm seeing is like this invisibility, like kind of force field around you, but it's self-created. So to me, what that always means is that you are pushing people away. And you're not just pushing like the toxic people away, you're pushing everyone away right now. In physicality, not like online. You're doing what I've been doing for the last like 20 years. And that's like, I don't want to deal with people in real life. Like, I'm good online, but like in real life, I'm so awkward and uncomfortable, and I just don't trust people. I feel like for a while, this was a good thing for you to use, like a good mechanism to like help protect you as you healed from something. it's not going to serve you well going forward in the next few weeks, because I feel like the less you put yourself out there, the less chance and opportunity for growth and change. Sorry, guys. I got a prayer of deliverance the other day, and I've been very sick ever since. Opportunities for growth and change and new experiences and ideas, you're literally pushing them away. So say you were walking down the street and you wore a shirt that had the name of your company, right? Just say. And somebody who's like a multimillionaire investor just happens to pass by, right place, right time, synchronistic, written into your charts. Your energy is such that it would push this person away where they would not approach you. Whereas if you weren't doing that, you might get a multi-million-dollar deal. Do you understand? Now, in the next couple of weeks is time for you to kind of bring down this force field that you've built up around the walls, not only around your heart, but also just around your energy, around your being. I feel though, too, on the other end of this, there is someone who's all over your social medias. I don't know if they're in physical proximity to you to be like looking through your phone. Somebody is like checking on you. So I don't know if this is like a toxic ex or if you're in a toxic relationship. And we're very open with that around here. So don't be like embarrassed or anything. Someone is definitely like looking through your pictures, like who the F is this B word? And, like having, like, I'm seeing like fake accounts where like you blocked them. So now they're doing a fake account. Just, I wouldn't really say I don't like saying watch what you put on social media, because I feel like we should all have the freedom to express ourselves however we want to without fear of shame, guilt, and judgment. But unfortunately, that's just not the world that we live in. And sometimes we have to like play the game and be careful, especially when you have a child and that child's other parents wants nothing more than to see you fail and nail you to the wall. I get that. I'm not talking about my current situation, guys. I never am. So how do you change energy? That is a great question. You can start by making direct eye contact with people and smiling, opening doors for people, saying hello. And you may be like, well, Gemma, I'm already doing that. Yeah, but if you do it mindfully, like I'm going to say hi to that person, that is putting out the energy of invitation for conversation, right? Ghost, do you have something to say on that? Oh, you looked like you were talking. So it's not, and you can also actively visualize your energy changing. So when I go out in public, so that I don't pick up every little thing that everyone's thinking, feeling, and all this jazz, I will imagine myself with energy. Well, there's several ways I do it, but this is one with like an energetic, you know how wind sometimes like during a hurricane blows really hard? I imagine my energy is wind pushing out in all directions as hard as a hurricane. Just keep away, keep away, keep away. If I want to invite interaction and conversation, if I'm feeling good that day and feeling like, interacting with too many people and they're dead isn't going to lead to like a blood transfusion or something, if I'm feeling feisty, I guess, I will not think that way. I will think of a bright light shooting out from me and touching everyone that comes around. Right? That is an open invitation for interaction. And I feel like the universe is trying to open you up to that, because there's a really awesome opportunity coming in for you in the next, I would say 2 weeks to a month. I don't want to say the next 1 to 2 weeks. I mean, I do want to say that, but I see that like it could happen in the next 1 to 2 weeks, or if you miss that opportunity, it's going to come back around. It's very important. I don't know what it deals with. You're very welcome. You're welcome very much. So, Sir Total. I almost said so turtle. I don't know what's going on. Not good with things like words. I like turtles.
My mic is on.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. I turned it off because you kept talking.
Total. That would be awesome. The only reason I stuttered and hesitated because I was smoking. I'm definitely taking guests for that. I'm gonna have Blue Crossroads on. Definitely, if it's not like the Tuesday afternoon thing, I'm going to add another night stream. I want to live stream a lot more. Live streaming seems to be where it's at for me. I feel like more people tune in. I do have a pre-recorded coming on Monday, guys. I want it not to do them because I'm not getting views. but it's like until I find something to replace them that's better and that works for everybody in the community, not just me, I'm still going to put them out. So this one is impossible murders, locked room murders, real murders that happened. And when the police got there, the entire house, every door and window were bolted, locked, tight, no signs of break-in, and just crazy murders. Yeah, that would be awesome. So Miss Pixie says, I imagine a beautiful veil of shimmering gold that gently glows and reflects the energy of others back. That is amazing. I get worried with that because I run into so many like demonic people. But I guess like when you're putting that out, it would probably transmute it, right? With like the ability that we have, we could probably transmute that. Words are hard. Did you get my Facebook message? The link I sent you? You need to watch that. Total, I got you. All right, now I'm ready.
Okay. Josephine, I take it back. Mom went for her nap. So, Josephine, are you here? Are you listening?
She's here. All right, Latro, thank you so much for stopping in. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week for sure. Yes, Miss Pixie, I was addressing you. Oh, no, not the, I'm sorry. I went from one person to another and didn't clarify that I was talking to Ryan. No, it's Ryan, the Facebook message, you, the energy transmutation. Starting off strong, Gemma. All right, Miss Josephine, I'm using Oracle of the Hecatean Path. No, I had an issue with the bus driver. So the first day, I'll give you guys the short story. He brought RJ home an hour late because he got lost. And I had to have one of the other moms call me and is like, don't worry, you know, he's on the bus. The bus driver just like, and I had seen this bus driver pass by twice and I tried waving them down. I didn't know it was his bus because I thought it was going to be the same lady from last year, like it was in the morning. And he just completely ignored me. So I'm like, okay, I guess that's not his bus. When the guy got there, all I said was, what happened to the guy? And he's like, I stopped here and your son was distracted and didn't hear me. So I kept going. I said, sir, I've been outside since 10 after 3. School isn't even out yet. I saw you pass me twice, but you did not stop, not even when I waved you down. Then he picks up this folder and he's like, well, I got all the, and he's like in my all irate. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, so you know that tomorrow you have to stop right here. He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, no problem. Tomorrow comes. He goes like 300, 200, 300 feet past the house. I have to yell, yo, stop. I walk around the front of the bus. He doesn't put the little stop sign thing out. And I'm standing at the door waiting for my son to get off. I turn around and look. There's my 6-year-old walking around the back of the bus trying to cross the busy street. No sidewalks, super duper busy. Okay. I said, you can't just leave him. Before I could even finish, he's like, listen, don't tell me how to do my job. So the past 2 days, he has stopped properly in front of the driveway, but I don't look at him and I don't say anything to him. And I still want him on a different route. All right, Bat Mom, let me do Josephine. And then I will get back to you.
Sorry about that, Bat Mom. It came out totally wrong. Hello.
And I was thinking, like, I was furious. And I was thinking, like, am I right to be, like, as angry as I am? Right? So the third day, yesterday, I went out there recording, but he did what he was supposed to do, so I didn't say anything. But again, like, I still want him to be on a different route. Like, I'm going to go Karen. And I'm sorry, but you don't leave a first grader in the middle of the street and are like, see ya, especially when you see their mom walking to the door to get them and then yell at me. I told the lady I called the Department of Transportation, I was like, I question this man's ability to be like, to safely handle these small children. He's screaming at an adult who's calling him sir and being very polite, even though he lied to my face, tried to blame my son for something, and yelled at me. And I still kept calm and still called him sir. So what is he going to do when one of these little kids aggravates him? Now, Miss Pixie, that's the thing. I had to call the Department of Transportation, and she's like, we have to reach out to the vendor. And I'm like, who's the vendor? She's like, oh, I don't know it off the top of my head. And then I tried to look online for the school district afternoon buses. There's no info. So I emailed her back today and I was like, look, everything's gone smoothly the past 2 days, but I don't like the uncomfortability. And now I don't trust him with my child. So can we just put him on a different route? So I'm waiting to hear back. And I still, like, how is there no information as to who's driving my kid around? An hour late? My son was so scared. He's only 6. And he said, I told him to stop, mommy. And he told me to be quiet and sit down. So, all right. I don't want to get like too personal because my husband will get really mad. But that is the gist of what I was dealing with this week, plus my doctor and all that. All right, Josephine. Pandoteria, the giver. All giver, sorry, the card of abundance. And it is my favorite number, card number 23. So did you guys ever read the book, The Giver? By Lois Lowry. That was my favorite book when I was little. All right, Josephine. Hecate was called upon in all aspects of life, including the welfare of crops, livestock, and the fisherman's catch. Her ability to give and promote abundance is parallel to the many Earth Mother figures such as Gaia, Demeter, and Rhea. But for all she can give, she can also withhold or take away. Don't expect to receive. Be gracious and avoid greed. The goddess provides, but she scolds the grasping and materialistic who seek to fill their voids with her bounty. So Josephine, I had to like go to spirit to interpret this card because I always tell you guys, expect abundance, like you expect the sun to rise, right? Or like you expect the mail to come. And this card and a lot of cards lately have been like, don't just expect it. I don't think it means like don't expect abundance or don't expect things to work out, like the power of positive thinking, the law of positive attraction, manifestation. What it's saying is if you're not doing anything behind what you're trying to manifest or what you're expecting to receive, it's almost like, how dare you? And I'm not saying you specifically. Thank you guys for having my back, by the way, because I was very like worried, like, am I being a Karen, right? All right. Josephine, here's the deal. I feel like you're on this spiritual journey, as we all are. There's something that you want. I don't know if you, Mike J, you better come back. I don't know if you are actively pursuing it yet. So maybe like something in your mind of like, just for an example, like I'm going to switch careers. And instead of being a nurse, I'm going to be a school teacher. What this card is saying is that is not a part of your path. Whatever this is that you're like dreaming of, and I feel like it's a big dream for you. Like it would be like, it would take so much for you to obtain this. And it would be possible if it were for you. You're going down the wrong path as far as like what you're doing with your life. Now, this could also mean you're going back to a past relationship that just, is no good for you. But there's definitely something here that like you're expecting it to work out because, like I always tell you, power of positive manifestation, expect it, expect abundance. Not in this case, because this abundance that you're seeking is not your abundance. It's not meant for you. I feel like somebody else could be influencing you, like, oh yeah, you should do this. Look how it works out for me. And it's like, that worked out for them. That is not part of Josephine Van Dam's path. So if you're thinking about switching careers or if you're thinking about any major changes, please think a little bit longer and harder on them. Give it 2 weeks, give it a month at least. And then once you go back to it, you'll start to understand through spirit and your team why, like all of the reasons why it's actually not a good idea. If you act on it right now, you're going to be on this continuous journey to obtain something you're not supposed to have. Blue Crossroads, I almost did. The last thing I said to him that day when he started like being like, look, blah, blah, I just looked at him and just like this, I went, I'm just going to have you fired. And I walked off. Like I was fuming. But hey, Willie. He does. That's exactly the air I got of him of like, look, woman, don't tell me, and even after he had let him off in the middle of the street, I was still polite. I turned and I said, sir, you cannot, just like that. Don't you put your hands in my face. Mm-mm. I knew you guys would understand. Deep Ethan's like, oh my God. Bat Mom.
Yes, go ahead. Hello, Batmom.
Bat Mom, I'm going to use Shaman's Dream. Bat Mom, I don't know what's going on. I'm sensing kind of a negative. There's something negative on you. You've been around someone recently, even if they were just like in your house or like you passed them on the street. You don't even, this is the problem with these hitchhiking, negative demonic spirits. You never know when you're going. This is why we have to protect ourselves every single time we walk out the door. And it's a lot of work, even to just do the visualization techniques. It's like, who has time? I think you picked up a hitchhiker. That's probably Bat Mom. That's probably why, like, you may be feeling like you need a nap all the time. You could be snapping a lot more than usual. I'm not saying this is a good thing in any way, shape, or form. And like, you need to sage and like say a prayer of protection over yourself in your home. But I feel like you have like a power of discernment now more so than you did. Don't be, and this is before I even pulled a card for you. Wow. Don't be intoxicated by the power of that. That's a demon. So like the demon, like it's going to put it in your head, like, don't get rid of me. Like, look, I'm going to give you discernment. I'm going to show you things and give you the answers before they happen. I'm going to be your oracle. I'm good. I'm a good spirit. I'm a helper. No. Cleanse yourself, girl. Cleanse yourself and your area. Yeah, no, I'm not. I felt it immediately when you said you had to take a nap. Yeah. There are a lot more hitchhiking demonic entities now more than ever in the world. And, there's a lot of things going on spiritually that 99.9% of the population aren't even aware of. And it's bad. It's bad out there. You're on mute, so.
I know. I was just agreeing with you. They're not even close.
No idea. All right, I'm going to take that card. It's just one. It popped out. Let me grab it. Yeah, what I've learned too is like, did you ever look at someone and like all of the sudden they just look different? Big bags under their eyes maybe, or like they're just off somehow. Even if they're still behaving in the same way, they're still smiling and bright or still just as miserable as they always were. That usually is what a demonic attachment will do. They'll change your look in a subtle way or in a way that seems like it could be normal, right? Including extreme weight loss and weight gain. But more so it's like the darkness under the eyes, and they do something like with your skin. And no, you have bags. You don't have dark. Okay, so Batmom, you got Root Girl. The Disowned Self, card number 46.
I'll just pack my bags and move along.
Ryan, no. It's not going to beat it on its own. And I think if you just sage and like don't acknowledge it, don't like talk to it. I remember I told Deb one time that she had an attachment, or that like someone that she was around all the time had an attachment, and she started talking to it and telling it like, I know you're here and I'm going to get rid of you. I'm like, don't do that. Like, don't acknowledge it verbally or at all until you start saging. Then you could say like, anything attached to me has to leave that isn't of love, light, and peace. You could say the Archangel Michael, prayer of protection and battle, if that's what you believe in. If you don't believe in it, don't say it, because he's not going to help you. Good. Yes, please do that. You guys are too much. Okay. Batmom. Ryan, I didn't see your answer to if you got my Facebook message or not. The link I sent you. It's a long video, but I think you would find it so interesting. The disowned self, hidden beauty, and the need for acceptance and love. Root Girl sits shivering, unclean and naked at the base of the tree of the self. She is unloved, unwanted, and shunned for her deformities. She has no home but is safe burrowing underground to dwell near the deepest roots of this sacred tree. Who is she to you? Could this urchin be the one part of you that, reintegrated, could lead you to wholeness and true purpose? This is a part of you, Batmom, the embodiment of a deeply flawed perception of your failures, manifesting as guilt and shame. When you project envy onto others or any emotion or instinct that you've learned to repress or deem unnatural, it's this homeless child self crying for attention, acceptance, and love. You want to lash out, ignore it, push it aside, all the while refusing to acknowledge this ugly quality as belonging to you. But if you would only look into the root girl's eyes and see the beauty and the unmet need, your unmet need, you would realize that this part of you asks for your compassion, patience, and understanding. This part of you was born when you were wounded and were conditioned to believe you're not whole, that your expression of self is somehow too much or too little. You may have even inherited this creature from your ancestors. However, it was this child self came to be curled up at the roots of your sacred tree self. It's time to welcome her into your heart. When you do, everything you've been searching for becomes illuminated and your path lights up with renewed purpose. When you come to love Root Girl and claim her as your own, accepting her in your humanity, she is transformed just as you are. Then all manner of magic begins to arrive in abundant form. Look for the beauty. So I got a couple messages here. The first one is look for the, hey, what's up, Bobby? The good in all situations, right? There's something that's coming up that is going to seem like, like, wow, more BS. Like this sucks too. But in actuality, a couple weeks down the line, you're going to see that there's a reason that didn't work out, because the universe has a different plan for abundance than whatever this was. This was something that was like temporary, but it was not made for this timeline. I do feel like yeah, it was a good video. I do feel like, Batmom, that it's like there's this healing taking place in you, but you're still to this point of like, there's one aspect of you that you still feel the need to hide. So I'm just going to use like, okay, your spiritual sense. So all this, like, you will not go around and talk about it even to like your significant other because you're afraid of judgment, because in the past you've been judged. You're hiding a big part of yourself because you've been judged for this. Now, this isn't about hiding like your ability to love and be loved because you've been hurt. This is specifically something someone has judged you on. You're now judging others on it. Right? So, for example, say that in high school, you were always judged for not having the nicest stuff, just for example. And now that you're old enough to buy the nicer stuff for yourself, you do. So when you see someone who doesn't have the nicest stuff and other people start going at that person, even as an adult, you do too. It's that part of you that wants someone else to feel the pain you felt. This doesn't make you a bad person. We all have these things. I do it too with certain things, where I immediately snap judge someone and I just want to like be mean to them in the comments. And I have to, when that happens, I take a step back and I'm like, what is it about this person that's triggering me right now? I feel like you could be dealing with that in your life. I feel like there's someone where you cannot like, you can't connect with them. You can't get close to them, even if at one time you could and like you were close, because there's something about them that they have that you want. The universe is saying to accept the part of yourself that has failed to obtain or gain whatever this is, and then keep putting the actionable steps behind manifesting it. And I have no idea what this could be, but there is someone I think that could end up being really important in your life if you would just stop judging them on something like they either can't help, can't control, or something that like they worked hard for and they've earned. I don't know what this is. I'm sure in the next week or two, you'll be able to figure it out.
Are you ready for your next? Edna. Edna. Oh, she's already here.
I'm going to use the Witch, Woman in Total Control of Herself cards. You're welcomes. Oh my gosh, come on. I have to slide the deck off the table because my nails, and they're not even long this week. I didn't do too bad in high school. Middle school was torment for me. Elementary school as well. But high school, once I grew into my looks, I did really well. All right, Miss Anna, let's see what's going on.
And now I hate bras too. They're so confining.
I don't mind them, but I'm small, so I'm the only one in my family who doesn't have an issue with gigantic breasts that hurt. I'm pretty happy about it actually. When I was younger, I used to hate it, but now
better cleavage than her.
My youngest sister just got implants, so yeah, you're normal in this community because you've met a bunch of other misfits, and that's okay because I honestly think we are the more normal ones. I wouldn't say normal, that's a bad word, but more awake and aware of things. We're not living in this false sense of security or this false reality that most of the population, we are aware there's spiritual war going on to whatever degree you're aware of it. The fact that the idea is there, right? We're aware that there's more. Island of Misfit Toys, exactly. We're aware that there's more than this life, and we're aware that there is purpose beyond material possession and gain. And when you're in high school, most of the time you just don't know that. What is going on? I keep dropping everything. All right, and then you got card number 12, Divine Masculine. Chances are, unless you are one of the lucky few, you weren't raised with a living example of divine masculine embodied, because the men in our culture are also bombarded with messages of what they should and should not be. They are required to ditch their inner feminine in order to be perceived as being tough or powerful. They often contort themselves to meet the unrealistic demands of a toxic patriarchy, which means we weren't exposed to the healthy traits of masculinity. Balanced leadership, conscious protection, and healthy assertiveness were in short supply. As a result, the masculine voice inside our heads is often too critical, harsh, and domineering. Your femininity deserves an inner masculine presence who encourages, leads, challenges, and downright worships your femininity. A woman in total control of herself, or witch, knows that while she may not have been raised with a good example of this divine masculine, it is her job to discover a means of growing him within herself. She is willing to release the toxic thoughts and ideals inside her head that would diminish or try to control her. She's willing to embrace the fierce, wild God inside of herself who can hold her feminine in his great protective arms. Now is the time to banish the drill sergeant of the psyche and formulate a new relationship to the encouraging male presence inside of yourself. I did raise myself. Yeah, so you didn't have that, I don't want to say strong masculine presence because I don't know if you did or not. But I know that the divine masculine that's being cultivated in you now and that has been being cultivated for so long is yours and yours alone. It's not inherited from a father or a male figure in your life. This is you figuring things out. I do feel in your case, so if I were reading this for someone else, again, like always, the message might be different. I feel like for you, this is kind of a yes, you're finding the balance, right? Of understanding that you have a flaw, but not being hypercritical about it. I gained 5 pounds. Instead of calling yourself a fat lardo, you understand that as we age, it's harder to lose weight. Or you just decide, hey, I like ice cream. I'm going to keep the 5 pounds. This isn't really so much about feminine and masculine as it is, I'm hearing this now, and it's a little off card about like self-acceptance. You have come to this self-acceptance that is radical. Even though you still may struggle through things because it's the human experience to do so, you are at a place right now that is just so divine. It really is. It's just this total acceptance of who you are as a spiritual being having a human experience. And I feel like the universe wants you in the next couple of weeks to try and pass that on to someone else. So it doesn't have to be someone in your family. It could be. But like to teach younger generations in some way, shape, or form, even if in some small way, that as long as they accept themselves and they are kind and try their best to always, do the right thing, like to teach this radical acceptance to the younger generation, even if it affects one person, it will have been worth it. I feel like this, while this may not be like your life's work, like your life path, it is something the universe is looking for you to do in the next few months. And I feel like that's because somebody who needs this guidance is going to be coming in, re-entering, or going through something that you're going to notice and be able to give the advice to. Hope that made sense. That was very off card, but what's up, Divine Empathic? I may have to get up and turn my AC on, guys. I'll know after the next reading. These lights are hot. The wig is hot. Yes, good. Okay, and not good that she's troubled, but good that she has you there as a good role model and leader, because I honestly see, okay, I'm going to break out the big guns here. One of my favorite shows in the whole world is Fringe. They had 7 seasons. The 7th season was meh. The rest of it was really, really good. In one of the episodes, they go to the alternate dimension. So there's one dimension where the Fringe people are, and then there's the alternate dimension where they're there, but it's different versions of themselves. So the blonde girl has red hair, and she's dating the guy, and, it's like little differences. Martin Luther King is on, the $20 bill, and things are just a tiny bit different. And in one episode, they show that they're hunting this serial killer, and they cannot find this guy. So they go back into the other dimension to see the serial killer in the original dimension. Try to stay with me. He's not a serial killer. He's a college professor who teaches about the psychology of serial killers. Whereas in the alternate dimension, he's a serial killer. So they're looking at his life like, what changed? What changed was he had an abusive father, and one night at a carnival or something, his father embarrassed him or something, was hitting him, and he ran away. The serial killer, a woman came up and she said, "Do you need help? Let me help you." The serial killer ran away from the woman. The not serial killer ran to the woman, and she ended up adopting him and giving him the guidance. Does that make sense? This is you giving that guidance, changing the course of her life, and setting her back on her path without either one of you even realizing it. Because you're just doing what it is you do. Without your guidance, I don't think things are going to be good for her. So please keep an eye on her too, okay? All right, who's next?
Blue Crossroads.
Yeah, and no, it's so true. And I still struggle with that sometimes. I'm still like, did I just put myself here for, 90 years of suffering, struggling, and never, making it or doing what I want to do? Doing the best that I can or making any money? I just have to suffer and struggle for 90 years or 100 years or however long I'm going to live for? I get angry. But then I think about where I was 10 years ago, where I am now, how far I've come, and where I'm going. I can envision it. And that's why, sometimes, like I said, when I immediately don't like someone, online, just by looking at them, it's usually because they're doing what I'm doing, but making more money than me, or they're younger and prettier than me. It's those stupid jealousies that come through. What's up, Sandra? That I really have to put in check, right? I'm not a 20-year-old anymore. Some things we can't help. I can't help my crooked teeth, unless I want to get grown-up braces. I don't even know if that would help. I can't help the size of my ears, or, there are things we were born with, that we just have to deal with, and learn to love and let those things grow on us. Yeah, life has other plans, and it always does. Yeah, that was a good episode, Bat Mom. All right, Blue, let's see.
Just remember, your path sometimes will change.
Yeah, a lot of the times it does. It depends on, what timeline you're on. You can go to bed on this timeline, and I can, me, like, I would love to wake up on a timeline where I get a few million views and I actually bring money in. And I talk about money a lot, but that's because money is one thing that I'm seriously lacking right now that worries me. Otherwise, I love my life. I love what I do. I love that I get to do it. I love who I am. I love what I look like for the most part. I love my family. Like, I'm good with me. The problem comes in where I see like an 11-year-old snarfing mayonnaise and condoms up their nose, and they're on vacation for the third time this year in Hawaii with the money they made from snarfing mayonnaise and condoms up their nose. Black Dragon, come on. Yeah, and not only in this lifetime, you'll repeat it throughout lifetimes until you do. Blue, we're using the human spirit. You are not going to believe the card I just pulled. Can't make this up. In the reverse, Blue, you pulled the card. Am I blue? That is crazy. It is card number 2. I like this deck too. It's short and to the point. Yeah, Divine Empathic, it drives me crazy. And I'm like, I'm putting 8, 9, 10 hours of work behind a video, and I'm making 64 cents a month off the video. What am I doing wrong? What am I missing? Like, blue ain't your color. Have you become so numb to everything around you that you feel absolutely nothing for the state of the world? Sometimes we get so caught up in our feelings, we disassociate with them and ignore them because we would rather not feel them, especially when they make us feel blue. But they're called feelings for a reason. They're meant to be experienced and felt, and they often highlight lessons that need to be learned. If we are constantly ignoring our feelings, then we are not completing assignments that the universe has assigned us. When we live our lives suppressing our emotions and feelings, we walk through life like zombies. It is often easier to ignore our feelings than to feel them, especially when they make us feel blue. Don't be the class clown flunking out of your own life. Be the overachiever, the A+ student in the front row, as you are, as you are. I feel like you just were going through a rough time. There may be some residuals of that. We did talk about this, and we talked about it in your reading. I just feel like it's not so much that you don't want to feel the feelings. It's that you don't know what to do with the feelings because there's confusion because the situation is bigger than like what you feel, right? So this is you learning in the next several months or however long it takes to navigate when those kinds of things happen, right? And I feel like it's going to be an ongoing lesson. You're in new territory in some area of your life. And I feel as though, hold on. I feel as though you're like going back and forth of like, I'm willing to learn this lesson. I'm willing to do XYZ. I'm willing to go through what I grow through what I go through. And then like there's a part of you that's like, you know what? It would be so simple to just not have to deal with this, right? And like if you weren't dealing with whatever this was, though, like you wouldn't be like this lesson is something that you were meant to learn at this time in your life. If there's another person involved, it's like, okay, with that person, or there would just be another person you would have to learn it through. This is a lesson that you have to learn because you're really good with a lot of things, but with, dealing with intense emotions openly, honestly, outwardly, maybe not one of your strong suits, right? The softer emotions. And I just feel like this is a learning touch and go process for you. And this is the universe saying, if you try to block those feelings out and pretend like they aren't there, you're going to start getting angry and you could end up making a mistake, like ghosting someone or like deciding, um, like this situation, this job or whatever it is just isn't for you, because who needs the BS? And the universe is saying, yeah, you can do that. But another year, 6 months down the line, there's going to be another job or another person you're going to go through the same thing, because this is a life lesson you've got to learn. Yeah, I have a shirt that says it. Divine.
Next is Smoochie. Hello, Smoochie. Misbehaving.
I'm going to use the Halloween Oracle for Miss Smoochie. Present. Okay. Night Song. Hidden Talents.
Before you start, hello, slow motion. I will try to sneak you in sooner. I didn't get to last time and I missed you, bud. I'm sorry.
Smoochy girl, a ruby red bird singing in the darkness, full of sound, like an unopened present, ribbons still bound. A bird singing at night is an unusual occurrence, and those birds who are known as singers of the darkness are almost always considered sacred or frightening. From the operatic nightingale through to the hooting owl, hearing a bird that you cannot see weaving its magic through the night sky has captivated humans for millennia. In the past, at Halloween time, a night that the veil between the worlds was said to be at its thinnest, these night birds were considered either omens or messengers of the gods. Depending on the culture, their voices were perceived as good luck and a positive validation, or alternatively a warning about continuing on certain paths. In some mythology, the night bird was able to direct us toward discovering our talents and true purpose, a kind of guide in the darkness leading us to the dawn. Should this beautiful but shy bird sing to you by appearing during your divination, know that you must unwrap the present of yourself. Look, some of the gifts within you remain unopened. The time has come to step into your true potential and claim all possibilities for yourself. There is no more time to waste, and there are no more excuses. What's up, slow motion? Smoochie, you are not right now on your path. I feel like you are distracted, sidetracked, overstimulated, confused. There's a lot of lower, I don't want to say negative, but like lower vibrational emotions attached to you, mainly because of like outstanding circumstances that you really don't have any control over. What the universe is saying in the next couple of weeks is, why not work on changing for the better things that you do have control over, things that you can control and that you can change now in the moment, and start small. When I first was in recovery and like I didn't want to change anything, so it was suggested to me that like how I get dressed in the morning, just change that. So if I put socks on and then pants, put pants on and then socks. It sounds silly and it sounds ridiculous, but after you do this for a couple weeks, change these teeny tiny little things, you become used to change, and change no longer is this big, major, daunting thing. I'm also hearing that you need to cut your goals down. What do you want to achieve? And what are the steps to achieve it? You can't just, like, for me, I look sometimes and I'm like, I want to be somewhat famous and I want to never have to worry about money again from my work, right? But I need to know what the steps are between where I'm at now at 5,000 subscribers, making less than $200 a month, including donations and ad revenue, to being that person with the spiritual retreat, with the beach house, living my best life, independently wealthy, financially independent, and not asking anyone for anything. I feel like it's like daunting to you to think about the work it's going to take to change what needs to be changed. But as a wise person once said to me as well, nothing changes if nothing changes. And if you're content in your own misery, then stay there. And I'm not saying you're a miserable person, because on the inside, you are beautiful and full of light, worthy of love, deserving of more than what you have. But you did put yourself, you charted yourself in this relationship, in this lifetime, in these situations for a reason. Are you going to live up to that soul growth and the experience your soul needs and needed through learning the lessons? Or are you going to wallow in it and be like, well, everything sucks anyway, and just keep going so that your next life is almost an exact replica of this one? You just can't remember it consciously. The only person that can change anything about your situation is you. The reason for that is because your situation is like how you're looking at it. You won't have a choice if you don't take care of all loose ends. And a loose end would be not learning a lesson you contracted yourself to learn, which means pulling yourself up out of the porta potty poop and becoming the best version of yourself that you can. This is a really important message, and I feel it in my heart, because I feel this energy of like, I don't want to have to put in any more hard work. You know, why can't someone else have to do the hard work and be the survivor and be the strong one? Because you put it on you. So you can continue down this path where you feel miserable and not heard and unappreciated and all the other things that you're feeling. And you can continue to not feel those things. Or you can take a stand and be like, anger is a secondary emotion. You don't just get angry. There's something that comes before it. When I'm extremely angry, I cry as I scream, tears bawling. Anger is secondary to the fact that somebody hurt me in some way. For some people, you know, anger, I don't even know what anger could be secondary to other than that, but I'm sure there are things, because anger is secondary. Look to the root cause. See where the finger points when you're looking at who to blame. That too, fear in disguise. I love that. And I'm not trying to judge or indict you. This is a hard message to give, because I feel like it is kind of shifting blame to you, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to blame you. I'm trying to empower you to take a damn stand and do something. Do 100 small things, one huge thing. Just do something different tomorrow or tonight than you've been doing. I don't care what it is. Every single day, change something little, right? If at 10 o'clock you normally watch, I don't know, CSI, watch Criminal Minds. You know what I'm saying? Change things in your routine, teeny tiny little things. And as you do that day by day, you'll start to change things that are bigger and bigger. Don't take, a year before you get to the big stuff. Excuse me, but I think you know what I'm saying. I'm going to run to the little girl's room. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay, next will be Cardi B. Cardi B. I did it again. Candy B, sorry. Actually, I do that on purpose. Then Mike J. And if Miss Pixie don't mind, I'd like to slide slow motion in, because, he's across the ocean there in a big pond. Don't want him up to swim here to beat me up for forgetting him last time. So if it's all right with you, Pixie, I'm going to slide slow motion in. And then I need to know if John Woodmass is still here. And that will do it for now. I hope everybody's having a good week. I'm sorry about missing you guys. I do miss you guys. Been a long week for me. A lot going on. I'm hanging in there. Yeah, I look serious. I'm actually in a good mood. Just the body's not working with me. It happens. Just another bump in the road. And Ryan, I will get a hold of you personally later on. Just bear with me, sir. And then if everybody wants to talk about Gemma, go ahead. I'll just leave the room. I'm okay. I ain't going nowhere. Well, I don't know if I'm not going nowhere, but at the moment, I'm not going.
You're not going nowhere. Smoochie, one message
Sorry.
I've been getting for a while. And we can talk more about it privately. You have a lot of, if not demonic, like lower attachment.
Who, me?
And no, I said Smoochie.
I
And
was gonna say.
it's really causing you to fall. I don't know how to say that without feeling like I'm not judging you. I do it. Like I've done it. I do it. I only care because I'm your friend. Right now, your mind is not clear. It's clouded. It's clouded with I don't know. I just feel like you're being led in the wrong direction because of choices that you've made unknowingly that have invited these things in. And now they're meddling in your life. And you don't even realize it. Boy, you can gossip about me all you want. I'm kind of a big deal. I did not want to buy this shirt. My mom forced me. Actually, I think she bought it for me because I saw it on the rack. I looked at it. I was like, I put it back. She's like, you're getting that. And she got it for me. Thank you, Blue. Thank you for the validation. You guys are so sweet. Who's next? I know you said it, but I don't remember.
I didn't say it. You just think I did.
Well, I could hear you from the bathroom, so you may have said it and like not actually to me though.
Well, who do you think it is?
Slow motion.
No, we're gonna do him in a little bit though. Go ahead and do Candy B.
Okay.
We're gonna do Candy
That's
B,
right.
then Mr. Mike, Mr.
Behold, Cardi B again.
And then if Pixie's nice, we're gonna slide Mr. Motion in. I don't want him swimming across the pond to beat me up for forgetting him last time.
Miss Candy Girl, we're going to use Oracle of Shadows and Light. I love you, Smoochy Girl. I just want what's best for you. And you're in a very demonically hostile situation. Jarvis, I didn't even see you sneak in there. Well,
and he's
you,
home.
Mike.
He's home too.
Very, very good.
On the floor. He's dancing it up.
Oh, it's so good to hear. It's so glad.
Come on. You missed the sponge baths, don't you? You missed those sponge baths, don't you? Come on, Mike. You can admit it. Mike and Eric and everybody knows what these sponge baths were like. Oh, shut up.
Mike, thank you, sir. And yes, Ryan, I don't know how that happened. But yes, my mom is your number one fan. We went to the baby shower and she's like, Ryan Paul Tremblay sent me a friend request. Is that Ryan from the show? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, I love him. I love listening to him. She's like, he is just so smart. And she's like, and you could, and she went on for like 15 minutes about this. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, yeah, he's a really sweet guy. Like, you can accept him. He's not going to like be weird or stalkery with you. And she's like, yeah, because I just love him. And she just kept going on and on. But you know what it is with my mom too? My mom is Native American. And she's always been very in touch with that part of her. Very like rooted in her Native ancestry. So you talk about that a lot and you've connected with tribes. And I think that my mom is like vicariously living through you as well. And she loves that you present information on the natives because she loves absorbing that history. And plus she just thinks you're adorable. So yeah, you need hats to sign for sure. I should have told her to block it.
That means Ryan get my spot and I get to leave now. So see ya.
I've had to tell her to block some people. She'll be like, who's this person? And it's like someone I've never heard of, or like one of the cat people I like to purposely harass. So, you know, she She's like, "Are you guys gonna do that stream again?" I'm like, "Mom, it's all right." She fangirls over Ryan. I don't know. Yeah, and there's something like she's terrified of her abilities. She doesn't work with them. She thinks what I do is so awesome and cool, and she's always bragging about it. Um, in fact, at the baby shower, we're sitting at the table with people we don't really know. It's me, my mom, my niece, my sister, and then like some people that are related to the mama to be. I come out of the bathroom. I was in there for like 5 minutes tops. And I see her pointing to me. And I'm like, she told them what I do. The next thing I know, the lady sitting next to me ordered every single one of my books and started telling me all of her paranormal stories. But it was cool. It was cool. Got some book sales at the baby shower. All right, Miss Candy B. Sea Beacon Fairy. What a beautiful card. Guidance, but where will it lead you? Interesting. Yeah, you know, and Smoochie, I don't even know what to do with that information because it's demonic, but because you don't believe in prayer, which is okay, you don't have to. I can't pray over you and I can't do a deliverance for you. So I will try to look spiritually how we can maybe finagle something. Ryan, that would be amazing. My mom would be so happy if you did that. Candy, I'm so sorry. No, I won't. I can't. It wouldn't work. You're not giving the authority over, right? You're not giving the authority to Jesus. So it would be pointless for me to do that. But I'm just saying, if I look for something not religious, but like how we can spiritually try to pull that out, I'll find something. It'll just take a lot longer and be like a longer process, but everybody has what they believe and what they don't, and I do respect that, and I would never do that. Again, it would be pointless. Bat Mom, yeah, I pray for you all the time. Thank you, Miss Julie girl. All right, Miss Candy's been waiting like 2 hours for a reading here. Card number 3, Sea Beacon Fairy. Jules, thank you so much. Guidance, but where will it lead you? Card number 3. Candy, sometimes when a clear path seems to be taking you in the right direction, it helps to know who is holding the light up, because while this beautiful sea beacon fairy is most certainly guiding a lost ship, who knows whether she leads it towards rocks or towards safe harbor. And this is the choice you have to make now. Is this path that is clearly being lit the right one for you? Simply because there's light, is the source a true and good guide? Would you be best to await another way out of the storm, or are you so eager to avoid the storm and the challenges that you'll follow the first light that comes along? The Sea Beacon Fairy speaks. I do hold up the light, but only you can choose as to whether the direction I will lead you in is the right one for you at this time. It may be your salvation I lead you to, and it may be that I am gathering souls and you will perish upon rocks or drown in cold seas. I know this is hard to hear. It's not a sure thing, this advice and guidance you have received, and for all its insistence that it quote unquote comes from the light, the advice may not be that which you need to follow at this time. Wow. I understand this may be confusing, but I'm assuring you mostly of one great truth, that perhaps you must find your own way out at this time. Divination message, a perfect solution to a problem that has been presented to you, but whether it's wise to take it is another thing altogether. You may have more resources and opportunities than you're aware of, or than you are allowing yourself to believe in. Don't be too quick to follow the first opportunity that comes along. Wait and check both your sources and your inner wisdom. There are many paths and many solutions. Not all advice will be right for you. I said, wow, because I was talking to Ghostdragonzw before the stream of some things that have been going on with me, where I don't know if I'm being convicted about what I'm doing by the Holy Spirit, or if I'm doing such a great job that the devil is putting that fear in me. I honestly don't know anymore. And for me, because of my personal beliefs, that's a big deal. And it's very painful to wonder if I'm sitting here doing the wrong thing. and spiritually pushing the wrong side, right? So I'll be figuring that out very, very quickly in the next couple of weeks. I think I just need to go and get a deliverance done on myself, and then we'll see from there. So yeah, Candy, I'm glad that this resonates, because this is actually a really important message. You're gonna use your intuition, okay? You're gonna. In the next few weeks, follow your intuition. An opportunity or opportunities will come in that seem like really good and really reasonable. But if there's any tiny little inkling that you shouldn't take it, even if you can't explain that inkling, don't take the opportunity. I mean this, because it could end up being like the devil in disguise. It could be a blessing in disguise, but I feel like the reason this card's coming up is because the first opportunity that seems too good to be true, or like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that this, is happening to me right now. That's because it is too good to be true, right? And in your intuitive hit is going to be the key here, Candy. The universe wants to see you follow blindly your intuition. That the minute you get a bad feeling, you say, oh, nope, and walk away, even if your biggest dream is on the table. That's going to kind of prove your connection to spirit. And it's not like you can fail a test from the universe. You'll just have to keep repeating it. Following your intuition, there's a reason you're being pushed to learn how to do this now. And I guarantee you, if you keep coming in here in a few weeks, or maybe even a few months, by the end of the year, there will be an even bigger message about like, hey girl, you know how to use your intuition. Use it in this situation. Something ain't right. I'm not saying that now, but I'm saying that is what comes next. The universe needs to see that you're connected to your source, your guides, your team, and that you trust them, that you're willing to take leaps of faith. And it's not about your higher power. It's about your higher self. Could be about your higher power if you have one, or if, whatever, but it's more about like, I know I have a spirit team. They talk to Gemma every week. The messages come through. Can I trust that energy enough in my life to invite it in and to turn my back on something that looks so good? Because I know deep down inside, because my team told me through my intuition, that it's just not right for me at this time. Good luck with that. It is very hard. Once you master it though, so you will spiritually elevate to a height I don't even know if you could see right now. Because that is one of the main things about being spiritually elevated and enlightened, is following your intuition no matter what. New England Dirt Roadie is in chat. Woo! He is taking yes or no questions for his pendulum, his divining pendulum.
Okies. Mr. Behold.
Can I show you guys my new background first?
For $5.
Okay, hold on. Hey, Ghost, can you put $5 in my PayPal account? Please, I really, really, really want something. I'm sorry, but I really, really want it. I mean, I need it. I need it badly. Thanks. All right, as soon as he gets back to me, I'll send you that $5, okay? Oh, here it is. Okay. You guys have got to see this. I fell in love with it immediately. That's the background, like including the pumpkins, the candles. It looks 3D, but it's not. It's actually the background. Honey, we all do. Oh, Candy, we all do. We absolutely all do. That's why you're being tested in this way. Hey, sweetie, I'm streaming right now if you want to come in on my channel. I'm live. Hope everything's okay. That's my cousin. Okay, so he sent me 10, so I'll give you the 5 in a couple minutes. You guys are too funny. It's pretty, right, Miss Pixie? Like I said, I love the color green, particularly like when I'm wearing a dark, like I don't have dark wigs, they never look right on me. But when I have my regular hair and I'm wearing like a nice green color, But man, when I see pink and black together, I just love it. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, we all do. It is such a curse of humanity, right? But that's your test. Netter, you didn't see it? Sorry, Mike, just give me 1 second. This is what I do.
It's pink too. All of it's pink. Just tons.
Yeah, pink and black. And I already have a Halloween background, but I was like, this one is so pretty. Like, I have to have it. And then just because we're here, here's the other wig. It's that like apricot color. Let me send my cousin a link real quick. I think she might be going through something. I'm a professional. Okay, share, copy link, bam, bam, bam. I'm literally live and talking to you. Okay, now that that's over with. Mike, let's do Divine Circus. I needed to lose you to love me. Mike, thank you. And, you know, I like my dark hair, but it's so, I need to get a haircut and like a style to it. Like, it's so dull and like dead and like gray a little bit. When I started losing my hair a few years ago due to the vitamin B deficiency and just like all the abuse I'd put my body through and addiction, it never grew back right. Like, y'all probably can't tell, but like it's missing a big chunk here that's never going to grow back. So my hairline, instead of being like a normal hairline, is like all the way back here. There's nothing I can do about that. That's just, and it makes me see on YouTube, that's what people will immediately pick at if they want to be mean to me. And it's an insecurity. So yes, Miss Aunt Edna. Yeah, Black Dragon, absolutely. Great advice. So Black Dragon said, Candy, believe in yourself. Don't lie to yourself. Listen, we all do it. We've all done it. That's how we end up in terrible situations and horrific relationships. But now that we're older, we need to stop that mess. I feel like if you're over 30, you need to follow your intuition every time, knowing that it's on point. Yeah, if I can get my real hair to look like this, I would always have my real hair. And it used to. I think I just need some layers. All right. Netter, you're not going to believe this. I got a contract, but not the kind of contract we were looking for. I was not specific, I guess, in my manifestation. A lot of YouTubers don't even show their faces. That is so true. I talked a YouTuber who didn't show his face for years. I was like, you are a rock star. Like, you are a YouTube god. Show your face. And the minute he did, he was like, Gemma who? And moved on and became a troll. But yeah, like and people have said, not people, I'd say like maybe 2 people have mentioned to me, like, you shouldn't show your face. It's distracting. Like, if you didn't show your face, you'd have more followers, because while your looks will bring people in, sometimes they'll turn people off more of the time. And I'm like, yeah, but my energy will attract the right people, right? I want to turn off and repel the people that are going to judge me or anyone else. I try my best to be sweet and kind all the time, but I'm human too. Righteous anger. I get angry. I yell. I've been cursing more lately, which I've really got to get a hold on. But I mean, it is what it is. If people are going to judge me on my looks, one way or the other, if they're going to think I'm a good person because of the way I look, or if they're going to think I'm a skank or a hoe or everything else I get called on a daily basis on YouTube, then boy, bye, girl, bye, bye, bye. Bye, baby girl, baby boy, baby they.
Guess I'll go back to wearing the dragon mask then.
So Damien asked my mom if she would be Melita, not Game of Thrones, the other show that's like connected to Game of Thrones. There's Damon and Marita, I think her name is. But my mom's like, I don't want to buy the dress and the wig. That's it. She's like, So I was like, Dee, I'll do it. And I feel like he was disappointed that my mom didn't want to do it and I did. So I told him, look, I already found a beautiful dress. I'll get the wig. We can wear it to the Halloween party because my sister Carol throws this amazing Halloween party. She has thousands and thousands of dollars of decorations. I mean, everybody dresses up. She lives on a lake. She's got like the stuffed Jason with the mask on coming out of the lake. She's got her. You've been to the party. Ghost Dragons. It's even crazier. It's going to be even crazier this year. You might actually be able to come depending on how you can do hotel, because it's like it's on Halloween. I don't know if it would, depending on what day Halloween falls on.
Halloween is on a Monday.
No, it can't be, because November 1st, 2nd, and 3rd is Power Unity.
Yeah.
And that's got to be a weekend. So it's on
Halloween
a Thursday.
Halloween is on a Monday. I'm looking at the calendar right now.
How is Halloween on a Monday on October 31st, and then Power Unity the 1st through the 3rd?
Right dates? I thought it was that weekend, the following weekend.
I remember saying it's the 1st through the 3rd, same weekend. I think I was looking at last year's schedule.
Possible, because I think
Mike, I'm sorry. So that means, oh, damn, because that would have been so perfect, because I was like, you could just come an extra night and just go to the party. We'll figure it out. Sorry about that, guys. Kind of got caught up there. I probably was accidentally looking at last year's schedule, because that does make sense. That why would it be Friday the 1st when Friday was the 1st last year? All right, Mike, the Velvet Queen, card number 25. A rare prize is worth the effort to obtain. Your efforts will need to include loving discipline. Loving discipline is not about trying to bend the world according to your will, but rather about readying yourself to align with the spirit of what you want to receive. To receive, rather than attempt to take by force, requires strength, trust, spiritual intelligence, and courage. It is easier to try and force things from a fearful place, but it's more effective and empowering to learn how to attract and receive through consciously chosen surrender. This allows the universe to do its best work for you. You're so, so welcome, Candy. I thought so, Bat Mom. Thank you. So
I was looking at September.
So Ghost, that means, though, oh, her party might end up being the night of Power Unity. We'll figure it out. I'll find out when the party is. If she throws it on actual Halloween, just come the day before and come to the party. All right. We've got to stop. We're making personal plans in the middle of the stream. We're professionals. To surrender, Mike, is not about, thank you, Mark, not about passivity, but doing all that we can do and then trusting life enough to let go and allow the outcome to be what it will. Surrendering isn't giving up. It's about trusting that there is a great and generous intelligence expressing itself through our lives, and if open to it, great treasures are bestowed upon us. So the discipline spoken of here is about changing your consciousness. It asks you to release issues around self-worth. Mike, why would you not be empowered and assisted by the universe to create a life that fills you with joy and feels just right for you? Of course, you should, can, and will be. Release any lack of self-worth that would get in the way of your opening in complete trust to the universe. The Velvet Queen assists in shifting the mind from scarcity to prosperity consciousness, where we feel we can receive precious gifts with an easy, open attitude, neither holding on to them out of fear nor pushing them away out of shame or guilt. When she enters your life, she brings a sign of abundance headed your way. This might manifest itself in many and varied ways: in financial wealth, career opportunities, increased love and affection in your relationships, or a sense of living in the rich fullness of life, spiritually as well as emotionally and materially. She also indicates a prize that is worth attaining. It is said that the sweetest fruit is at the top of the tree and therefore worth the climb. The Velvet Queen lets you know that your most prized dream is within reach through a combination of letting life unfold as it will and your own disciplined efforts. Don't give up. You cannot make the fruit on the tree grow faster. That'll happen according to the rhythm of life, but you can certainly do your part to be ready to climb the tree at the right moment to savor the sweetness of success. I don't know what's going on. What did I just walk into? Mike, all right. So I feel this is going to be a little weird, but I feel as though this is just talking about enjoying what you have. Enjoying the fact that you are where you are in life. Like everything, being proud of yourself, everything you've achieved and obtained and attained, and like that you've been able to do it without, going negative, right? Without letting everything that's been done to you, that has happened to you, that has went wrong for you, turn you into an ungrateful spirit or an angry soul all the time. I feel like the Velvet Queen is the universe telling you that as long as you can continue to be grateful, to be kind, and to do your very best every day to accept that whatever the universe throws at you, it's doing it so that you can learn lessons. Yes, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, right? But at the end of the day, spiritually, we're put here to learn. We're not, it doesn't even like our happiness, like, I mean, that's for our humanity. Spirit wise, our soul wise, it's learning, it's growth, it's expansion, ascension. And you are on a really good path to that. I feel like the universe is saying how if there's an opportunity that comes in the next couple weeks or even the next couple months, I think the next couple weeks, make sure that you don't have to sacrifice like your ideas or ideals, or it's like make sure that you're not going to be like having to give too much to obtain whatever this is. The universe is like, don't sacrifice your dignity, right? You could be feeling maybe a little desperate in some area, but the universe wants you, instead of like thinking desperately, like, you know, I'll do anything, oh my gosh, to remember you are who you are. You are a high vibrating soul. You walk in gratefulness or walk with gratitude and happiness in your soul. You always have a kind word. So the universe will never make it so that you have to sacrifice too much. And your dignity will always be too much, right? So wait for the next opportunity if you feel like you're giving too much, if the sacrifice is too large, even if what you're going to obtain is gigantic. If you don't feel right about the offer and what whoever or whatever's asking, don't give it. Point blank, period. Who's next? Exactly. Power, but not arrogance. Jules, that sounds so good. Did y'all ever have a s'moreo? So it's s'more, but in between the chocolate and the marshmallow, you put an Oreo cookie. All right, who's
deep
next?
fry it.
Well, you don't deep fry s'moreos, but deep fried Oreos.
No, I've seen them do deep fried
Mike.
too.
Deep fried Snickers. We have deep fried sticks of butter, deep fried pickles. I've never had the butter.
Twinkies.
Deep fried Twinkies. Yeah. The deep fried Snickers and deep fried Oreos are my favorite. I never tried the butter because I'm trying to lose weight. Baby UFO, don't go anywhere without a reading. I've spoken.
Okay,
guys, don't forget. Sorry. Readings are now $60. I've got spiritual helper boxes, Halloween helper boxes with special Halloween themed little treats in there. I bought cute little Halloween bracelets. So they've got the authentic natural gemstones, but they'll have like a little boo ghost or something in it. I bought little pocket ghosts for hugs, ghosts in the box. I got really cute Nightmare Before Christmas socks. So I brought a bunch of extra stuff to put in. If you don't want to spend the money, because they are pretty pricey depending on the size of the box, but I put a lot of work and a lot of energy into them, and I spend a lot of money on them. I also just have the sprays, 4-ounce manifestation intention sprays. They're crystal infused. They're made with moon water. I have moon water from every full moon, every new moon. I've been working on that for years. I just keep it in containers that are labeled, pull it out when I need it. And they're also like created based on your spiritual need in the moment. And I also have the rollers, and I do the crystals in those myself. I don't buy them already infused. I do that myself. All different shades and scents. Chris Jarvis, I will. And I'm glad you said that, because I have an extremely important message for everyone in here. Thank you, Miss Jules. There is something on Netflix. This is controversial. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to listen. I'm not going to debate it with anybody. The movie or show, I think it's a movie, The Deliverance on Netflix. That is That is a demonic portal. Do not watch. Don't watch that movie or show, whatever it is, please. I wouldn't even watch the trailer if you haven't seen it yet. I'm not joking or kidding. This isn't coming from my religious beliefs. This is coming from a message I was given when I almost clicked on the trailer and the remote flew out of my hand and almost broke the TV. And I'm like, what is that about? It is demonic. And it's been happening. The one rap concert where he's like, y'all are joining me in this ritual. Haha, just kidding. And then a bunch of people, including a little kid, died. The demonic is coming out in art expression now, right? Whereas it's always been hidden in Hollywood or Hollyweird, it's now expanding. The world is changing, right? So I'm not going to get into that because I might talk about this at some point and put a disclaimer that like religion will come in, but I'm not going to talk about it tonight. And the deliverance, it's called. I've never said this about a movie or a show. It's not like I always say this and I'm just like on some stuff like, oh, that's just Gemma again doing her stuff. I'm very serious. It's called The Deliverance. And I want to watch it so bad because it looks really scary. Don't do it. Please don't do it.
When you're ready, go ahead and do slow-mo.
Sandra, yeah. I mean, you have to watch, right? So normally I don't give those kinds of messages because the people that I deal with are in this chat are pretty spiritually elevated and pretty spiritually in tune. So if they start to feel strange when they're watching something, they'll know and turn it off. This is on a whole different level, unlike anything I've ever experienced before. Did you say that, Slow Motions? Because I have a crush on Zach Baggins. I'm sorry, but he can get it. But then he's got to go because I don't like his attitude. He's that guy that like you wake up next to in the morning and you're like, why are you still here?
He's a big
why are you still here?
His mama runs his career.
Whatever.
Slow Motion's next.
Yeah, I got you. I'm going to use Ancestor Spirit. He's like not that guy I want to like go to breakfast with the next day. It's like you can call me at like midnight maybe if I'm not busy. Matter of fact, I'll call you. But thanks.
And he's that guy that would show up with his mom too.
I have the biggest crush on him. I think the thing with him is that he's really sensitive and empathic, but he also lets his ego get in the way. And because he became so famous, I think so quickly, he wasn't able to detach himself from the ego of that. And that is why a lot of people don't like him. My mom never says anything bad about anyone, really, unless you like mess with her kids or grandkids. She hates him. Like, she hates him. Sandra Heath, I don't watch that much. I usually watch it for research or like every once in a while. Like, I've never watched Ghost Adventures before until like a year ago. I watched a couple episodes and recently I've been watching, but I've been watching because I've been looking for places to like cover. But for the most part, no, I can't because there's a lot of, but like I said, we mostly know how to handle it. It kind of flows right off us. That movie, The Deliverance, I'm telling you, is on a whole different level. You will be just begging the demonic into your home. And I'm not, go ahead and try if you want to. All right, Slow Motion. Sorry, these are taking a long time, but I'm just feeling it tonight.
Well, we understand that this has been the only night a week you get to spend with these folks.
Yeah, so I get to spend with like actual adults.
I take it you saw the private chat?
No, I didn't. I wonder if me telling Smoochie I'm not going to pray for her offended her. Smoochie, are you still here? Oh, I don't know what happened, but sorry. You haven't replaced the remote. I probably wouldn't either. My husband watches Newsmax. That's it. And little guy mainly watches TV. Just got a wave. Okay, Miss Pixie, let's pop that up. I just got a wave of something coming, energy unrelated to what Gemma said. Oh, good. She's here. Okay. Just making sure. I told you last week I tried to summon you like Beetlejuice. Paranormal Pixie, do you know what it's like pertaining to? All right. So Slow Motion, you got respect your physical body. It's time to pay more attention to your physical surroundings, both your body and the environment where you live and work. Your mortal body is just as important as your spiritual energy. It is important to look after the vessel that carries your soul. Consider how you contribute to your health and well-being. Also, look at the energy where you live and work. Create a sacred space so you can go home to relax and recharge. Attend to your physical, emotional, and mental space. Like a buildup of dust, toxins, thoughts, ideas, and feelings can accumulate and start to dull your energies. Create a bubble in your routine where you can process and release stress, emotions, or physical impurities. Sweat it out in a sauna or with a run or a walk in fresh air. Notice what you are consuming and limit the processed foods, chemicals, or negativity you are taking in. A cleansing diet of skin or skin treatment will have the benefits for your whole self. Guys, all of the cards I already read got stuck to my arm and fell. So I don't know what's going on here tonight. I mean, I'll drop a card every once in a while, but never like this. This is crazy. All right, I got them. So slow motion. Basically, what we're dealing with here is there could be some physical health issues coming up in the next few weeks for you. And what I would say is just be really careful. Be careful what you consume. I'm not seeing anything really serious, but I'm seeing like, I don't know what this is. It's not anything of like, oh my gosh, like you better get this taken care of, you're gonna die. But this is like some physical issues. I don't know if you're overindulging in food or drink or something else, or if you just have an underlying issue that's going to be exacerbated by something that you put into your system in the next couple of weeks. Definitely make sure you keep all of your doctor's appointments. Do not find any excuse to miss any doctor's appointments. I also feel like this is talking about like spiritually, right? So, grounding, which I think you said you do. I'm not 100% sure, but like grounding yourself, reconnecting with Mother Earth. Yeah, I just feel like, okay, good, both. Make sure that you be mindful of those things. If you start to feel sick and like out of sorts and not yourself, I believe it's going to be spiritual dis-ease manifested as something physical. So not to say that your physical ailments and things that like you're dealing with aren't real, but I feel like by caring for in the next couple of weeks to a month and going forward, by caring for the spiritual dis-ease, it's really going to ramp down the physical stuff going on. Okay. Please keep in mind that they are connected and there is, you have to find balance. You're out of whack right now. I would consider doing like a 12-minute guided chakra alignment. Do you know the way I find good ones when I'm doing guided meditations? I pick one that like looks like it has a good title, like guided meditation into your past lives while you sleep, right? I listen to the person's voice. If it vibes with me, I'm good. And sorry, this wig is like become itchy all of a sudden. And okay. Forgot what I was going to say. Completely lost the message. As far as disability, I feel like you are going to get it. Make sure that, okay. What was, hold on guys. I just got like hit with some kind of confusion. Be mindful though that the physical and the spiritual go together. And I was just going to say, okay, how I pick the meditations. If I vibe with the voice and if they don't have ads. Those are the two main things. So it could be a 7-minute chakra alignment would be perfect. You're out of balance, you're out of whack. As far as disability, I do think you're going to get it. I don't think you're going to have any issues there. Just make sure, until that point and going forward, you're taking care of yourself. And putting your physical health and your spiritual health more specifically first and foremost above anything and anyone.
You ready?
Yeah.
Miss Pixie.
All right.
Miss Pixie. Thank you, love.
Pixie, I'm going to use the Lantern Oracle for you. You did. You totally, I don't know why that happened. All I was doing was talking about guided meditations, and I got hit with a spirit of confusion for a second. Yeah, multifaceted Jules says slow motion. Most important thing is to have a qualified DM statement that you are disabled. So he's in Ireland, but it probably works around the same way. You'll probably have an easier time over there. Awesome. Scary accurate. I like scary accurate. Remember, it's not me, it's your team, and they're with you 24/7. They've been with you before you were born. They were with you in your mother's womb. My nose itches. I'm not picking. I just had an itch inside of my nose. All right, Miss Pixie. Come on, dude. It's distracting. Gosh. Look at him. He gets mad. I'm only kidding. You look like a total creep. You look like the guy lurking in the bushes. Sunglasses at night. Hood up. Good, slow motion. Good. No, it is not easy to get disability here. I was trying to get it with my dad, but like he's in addiction, but he is actually physically disabled. And I couldn't believe how easy it was for him to get it. Whereas like my mom, who has no addictions or anything like that, like seriously can't work. And they made her jump through so many hoops. And my dad, but that's like with me, I automatically get my insurance. I don't have to like renew my health insurance because I'm a recovering addict. Whereas someone who's suffering from like physical ailments may not, they have to renew every single year. Is it fair? No. Does it work for me? Yeah. All right, Miss Pixie. Wow, what a beautiful card. Card number 5, the unknown. Knowing the unknown. Could it be a more accurate card already? It's natural and human to feel reluctant and fearful at the beginning of a significant change. Change confronts us with so many unknowns and such overwhelming feelings that challenge us whenever an unfamiliar direction is taken. However, to never try something new or cease to continue when things change is to go against life's natural rhythms of continued growth and transformation. What is known can quickly become comfortably familiar as well as stifling to our gradual yet ongoing progression. The price we pay to stay in what is known is stagnation and fear. Trust that you have the sufficient skills and knowledge to navigate your way through an unknown aspect of your life. It may be that you have avoided or put off changing a career, changing locations, committing to a new project, starting a family, or ending a relationship for a while now. If so, this card has shown up to remind you that if you do nothing different, nothing changes. I just said this earlier, right? I said a wise man once told me nothing changes if nothing changes. Roger Blair and John Woodmass, if you two are here, please let us know. Last call. Laura, you are so much more than the accumulation of your fears. You are capable of moving forward despite any uncertainty that you might feel. You have everything it takes to choose the unknown and embrace change by focusing on what your next step requires. Any and every journey is the result of taking one step into the unknown at a time. Maiden's message, once you choose to keep moving, your next step will be made known to you. So yeah, I do feel like there's some fear involved here with something that you want to do. Maybe it's an opportunity that already came in and like you really want to take it, but there's a part of you that's like, you know, maybe you think you're not qualified or you think you don't have the time and the universe is like, we're not going to let you off the hook that easy because you have incredible intuition, you have ability, right? So the universe is saying, use that to make your decision. And once you make the decision, then we'll tell you why we placed that decision in front of you. Where normally the universe will be like, you know, here's why. It's not going to be that simple for you because they're testing you. They're testing how, what's the word I'm looking for? How completely you can throw caution to the wind and trust that the universe is providing you with these opportunities and offers because you're ready. Like things like whatever this is never came up before, I don't think, for you. Maybe like in your mind, like you've manifested them. And that's another thing. The universe is like, why would you manifest this? And then when we present it to you, you're unsure. That's just fear, ego, edging got out. So you've got to get rid of that fear energy and put it aside. But also, if nothing like this has happened before, you're manifesting it now. The universe is like, Obviously it's happening now because you're ready. So whatever this opportunity is, or these options are, bring it to your team, bring it to spirit, let your psychic knowing know it intimately, and move forward the best way you think. I feel like if it's an opportunity to advance in any way, shape, or form, it is a real opportunity and you should jump on it. Nothing about this is too good to be true, even if it seems that way. And even if you're not ready for whatever this is, Lara, fake it till you make it, girl. Do you think I was completely and totally 1,000,000% comfortable the first time I ever did a live stream by myself? No. I was thrown to the dogs by someone I thought was a friend and a partner and just had to do it. Now I'm so comfortable in front of the camera. I'm like talking about my life story and like burping and itching my nose. I faked it until I made it. But I was authentic and real. And that's all the universe is asking of you. I feel like I'm looking at a map and I have no idea where to go. Well, we're not psychic about ourselves. That's a big problem, right? Follow your intuition. The universe is leading you somewhere. Maybe reconnect with nature to gain some clarity, or scry, maybe automatic writing. I suggest these things to you because you're learned and you're trained in the art of using them. Not because I just think any of you should just go out and start doing those things, but yeah, bring it to spirit. Good night, Mr. Motion. See you next week, hopefully.
Okay, since those two didn't answer, and I'm sure Cowie's going to, go ahead and do Jules. And Ryan, you still better be here. I'll have to come hunt you down.
Oh, you best. Jules, I know we've been using, or I think we've been using this deck a lot for you. Not sure. I could be wrong, but it's a good deck. And your team picks it. So I always cringe like when I think I'm using a deck too much for one person, but I can't help it. You're so welcome. Thank you, Miss Pixie. I vape 0 nicotine. So I was going down in my nicotine. I'm at 0.5% now, but I've been on 0.5% for like 2 years. I ordered this thing called Pure, and it said it would send me a month's worth of their all natural vapes for $29 to try it out. And then you get like a subscription. They sent me one vape. So I don't know how much they think I vape. I was done in 2 days. Thank you so much, Miss Lara. I really do appreciate you. Thank you. I just tie your shoelaces together. Nice. While eating Cheetos at the same time. I get it. I feel you, bro. All right, Miss Jules. Let's see what's going on.
And there's nothing wrong with a good cigar once in a while, isn't it?
The first time I ever smoked a cigar, I was 19. I was with Damien's dad at a party. It was a house party. Our friend's mom had gone away. And I was also drinking flaming shots of Bacardi 151. And I inhaled. I puked everywhere in that guy's house. We're still friends, actually, to this day on Facebook. But yeah, it was not good. All right, Jules, you got card number 40, Nyx. Oh, I love Nyx. Secrets. The goddess oracle. You also got it in the upright. Jules, there are times when you must surrender your need to know. Some things open up only when they choose to, not when you demand them to. The mysterious and the unknowable is the domain of the Greek goddess Nyx. She shows you the veils that may not part for you at this time. Right now, you're meant to keep on your path, trusting that secrets will be revealed by the goddess Nyx when she decides. Remain true to your intentions and keep on moving forward, remaining curious and open about what you can discover. Allow your need to know the details right now to fall away and just be present to all that life is offering you. Judge nothing as good or bad and just be with what arises. Soon the treasure you seek will be revealed, and it will be better and more valuable than you could ever have imagined. The goddess Nyx knows what's best for you. Trust and all will be revealed in divine timing. So, okay. Julie girl, what this card is talking about is like just trusting the process, right? The process of life, of manifest destiny, of divine intervention. I feel like you're like doing well in some area or maybe many areas, but one area in particular where it's like you're like, wow, this is awesome. You know, I did this, and you're feeling good and you're feeling confident, but you're getting to a point where like now you're feeling like there's the risk of whatever this area is, like becoming stagnant in this area. And this could lead to like worry and anxiety. Like, okay, I'm doing my best to spiritually align with my path and to elevate, but I'm not receiving any more direction. So, what do I do besides just stay here stagnating? This card is telling you you're not stagnating. You are about to understand why you've been feeling so stuck, even if it's stuck in a good place. Because we can always do more, achieve more, fly higher, so to speak. And the universe is saying, if you trust the universe, if you trust your own manifestation abilities, even just know that it's all going to be revealed when it should be revealed. And you are on the right path. You are doing the right things. This is just a lesson in not always needing to know the why. Dead balls accurate. Yeah, I do too, or at least I used to. Now I kind of just go with it because I've learned in life that, like, first of all, nothing ever turns out how I expect it to, right? It's crazy how the universe works like that. I am getting very frustrated in my financial situation. Like I said, watching 20-year-olds snarf condoms and mayonnaise up their nose, and they're making thousands of dollars a month from doing that. It really puts a knife through my heart because I work so hard and put so much of myself into this. But at the same time, it's like, what is the time frame? I've been on YouTube 3.5 years. So how can I think I'm a failure when I don't know how long these other people have been doing what they're doing? I don't know what kind of money they have backing them or management or help. I'm a one-woman show besides Ghost Dragons. Do you know what I mean? So when I'm looking for the whys, I'm finding them, but they're not always what I want to hear. Sometimes I just want to know, like, December 22nd, 2027, I'm going to make my first million. Like, that's the kind of information I want. But no, I have not, Batmom. But maybe if I try it, I can make some actual money. Jules says, like I was just telling someone in the chat, that I even went back to college and studied psychology to find out why my psyche had fractured and I was a little strange and crazy. I love it. I mean, what better way though, right? It makes perfect sense to me. Who's next?
Mr. Ryan.
So your why, you're you. Like, I get that there is a psychological reason. Girl, my wig is a mess. But the why you're you is like, that's a spiritual thing that you may never understand until you learn the lessons you need to learn. Like, I can look back now and be like, oh, that's why I did that. Or, oh man, that's why that incredibly painful thing had to happen. So until you can look back, you're never going to understand the whys. And as you move forward, it's like more whys. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's never enough answers. All right, Ryan. Let's use the Blue Crossroads stack. Where is he, by the way? Did he say goodbye? How dare he leave without saying goodbye?
You're taking the dogs out.
So, guys, I went on something called Vampire Talk. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like that's how we grow and change and ascend the quickest, is by like kind of following the why. Thank you, Miss Pixie. I just feel like I'm always playing with it because I don't strap it down. This card was saying to Jules, though, like, for a little while, just trust the process. That's a hard thing for you to do, Jules, and that's why you're being called to do it. To see if you have trust and faith enough in your team, in your higher self, in the universe, and or God, whatever that means to you, to trust their eternal vision, the eternal timeline that they're on. All right. I almost named my first son Ryan. Ryan's the name of like my first ever real boyfriend. I always called him Ryan Vargo the Virgo. And I realized later in life he was not a Virgo. He was a Leo. I was always reading the wrong horoscope for him. All right. You got Skyla, the card of resilience. She comes out all the time. It's not that I mind. It's just like reading the same thing over and over again. I already know these cards by heart. Cut it off at the head. Take care of it now. Stop putting off for tomorrow what can be done today. Stop trusting people that they're going to like change or like anything's going to change in the situation based on them, and take your own action. Take preemptive action. I'm telling you. Card number 8. Life throws adversity at you and there's no escaping this, yet building resilience allows you to handle this better. Where did Wendy and her daughter go, by the way? Building flexibility is a key to developing resilience. Righteous anger is not shameful. Sometimes you get caught between a rock and a hard place and you need to make a decision between two poor outcomes to get to where you need to go. The lesser of two evils is still evil, but you still have to make a choice. Most people who know of Skyla were introduced to her through Homer's epic, The Odyssey. Odysseus wants to return home with his men and is told that he will have to pass through the Straits of Messina, close to two monsters, to do so. Skyla guards one side of the rough and narrow waters opposite Charybdis, another monster in the shape of an inescapable whirlpool. It's said that the two monsters were in an arrow's range of each other, so that if one didn't get you, the other definitely would. So, who was Skyla, and was she always a monster? There are a number of origin stories of Skyla, but again, most relate to a woman being jealous of another and harming her enough that she became monstrous, a repeating motif in the ancient Greek world. Before she was turned into a monster, she was the beautiful sea nymph, daughter of Phorcys and Ceto, deities of the sea. They were also the parents of the Gorgons. In one myth, it is said that Skyla was transformed by Poseidon's wife Amphitrite by placing a poisonous potion into the pool in which Skyla bathed. Poseidon had his eye on the beautiful Skyla, and Amphitrite became jealous. The second myth featured the handsome Glaucus, a sea god who fell in love with her, but whom she rejected. He asked the sorceress Circe, who he was friends with, for a love potion to assist him. Circe, however, was in love with Glaucus herself. Instead of the love potion, she created a drink that turned Skyla into a monster. Hey, girl! Thank you! Me too, and definitely one of my favorites. Melissa, always room for you, baby girl. Skyla then became a frightening creature who no man would ever find pleasing. She developed 6 heads on long snake-like necks, and each of these heads held a mouth with razor-sharp, shark-like teeth. Her legs were girdled by savage dogs. Guys, the imagery. Her legs were girdled by savage dogs. Right. She no longer had a human voice, but made the baying sound of hounds. She had a half crab shell that stuck out of the black cave and tumbled rocks she was perched upon. Odysseus asked the advice of Circe about the best way to pass the monsters and survive. Circe advised that both monsters were terrible and that loss of life would happen, but it was better to get closer to Skyla and lose a few men than to lose everyone and the ship to the whirlpool of Charybdis. Homer writes of Skyla in Circe's voice, quote, "No crew can boast that they ever sailed their ship past Skyla unscathed. Skyla was not born for death. She is a thing of terror, intractable, ferocious, and impossible to fight." End quote. Odysseus was literally caught between a rock and a hard place, yet decided that battling Skyla would be preferable. He and his crew sailed to the strait where Skyla and Charybdis were, and knew that death was near. They sailed closer to Skyla, who rose up in a rage and slaughtered 6 sailors. 1 man was taken by each of her heads. Skyla remained resilient and undefeatable. So the information I was giving in the beginning was from the card, the Hydra, but because it came to me, Ryan, I want you to take that advice as well. In a much later story recorded in Eustathius's commentary on Homer, it was said that the hero Heracles encountered Skyla during a journey to Sicily and managed to slay her. Her father, the sea god Phorcys, immediately applied healing flame torches to her body and she returned to life. Again, Skyla rises, righteously ferocious, to thwart yet another pesky hero. Plant companion, the sea onion, and crystal companion, one of my absolute favorites, Serpentine. By the way, where's Nutslap? I'm thinking of him because he bought me for Christmas 2 years ago a serpentine ring. I'm not wearing it right now, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful green color, which is why I love it. It's also called Lizardite. So, Ryan, The lesser of two evils is still evil, but you still have to make a choice. I feel like the resilience, that definitely describes you, particularly in the last few months, right? Or even in the last few years. It's like this constant bouncing back. But what the universe is saying is, if you face the problem head on, stop waiting for the other person or the other people to do the right thing, or to step up, or to, change their perspective, or to become better humans. Jules, good night, sweetie. Love you. And do what you need to do for you without guilt, shame, fear, or regret. This doesn't necessarily mean doing something unkind or exposing them in any way, but it means making sure that you do not let them defeat you, because you're in the right. Your anger is righteous. Your journey is true because you didn't start this. The main message I'm getting here, Ryan, is don't give up what you're doing, your path, your goals, your dreams. And I can honestly say this because I do know a lot of what's going on. How this pertains to you is like, don't stop what you're doing. Sometimes, whether you call it devil, enemy, Satan, whatever you call the enemy, don't let them stop you from getting the word out there. You have a very important message, like everyone in this community does. And when we all come together, it's beautiful. But when there's division, it really sucks. You have stories to tell. You have information to give. Don't let demonic, lower vibrational, negative, Satan, devil, whatever you call it, stop you by playing with your heartstrings and using this situation to bring you down. The reason all this is happening too is because what you have to say, what you contribute, is so powerful. And there are people that need to hear it. And if you don't give the information, who's going to? The universe is trusting you with a sacred charge. And anyone who stands against you, they're going to face their own consequences that really have nothing to do with you. Be resilient as you are. Self-care and self-focus. Yeah, good. Good. I'm glad you've cut a lot of people out. Snakes in the grass. Good riddance to bad rubbish. Girl bye, boy bye, bye-bye, they bye, bye. Bye. Bye, Felicia. New England Dirt Roadie still taking yes or no questions. We're going to have him on, like, actually not on this show, but on a live stream. I told you I'm going to be doing a bunch of different stuff, seeing, throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks. Or throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. However I said, whatever. We're going to have him on actually divining, like, in real time where y'all can see him. Oh, got you. Who's next?
Mark is next. Life with Bobby, if you can hear me, you're coming up. And Divine, you're coming up too.
So Mark and Life with Bobby are still here?
Mark his name's coming up. Hopefully he didn't pass out, bless his heart.
What happened with Wendy?
Blue said she went to bed, but she told me to hold on to her and Katie. They'd be back later.
We'll see what happens with the timestamps depending what time we end. One of the names my dad wanted to name me was Wendy. So Karen, Wendy, Candy. And it just happened when I was born, my aunt happened to be standing there and he's like, I don't know, let's name her. And they picked my government name because it's my aunt's name. All right. Yes, good. Ryan, I'm so glad you did, because I told Steven that I was literally going to come to your house and I was going to bring my mom and we were going to beat you into submission. And Miss Cookie, I would have picked her up along the way. You cannot stop. Don't be stifled. You have an army behind you and you're a very humble person. I see an energy about you that, like, I don't want to mess with you, but that's okay to have. That means you have an army of spirit behind you. You have an army of gemstones on this channel for sure that will stand firm in your truth with you and help you. I'd risk my reputation for you because I absolutely trust you that much, right? And your mom is adorable. Oh my God. I just love her voice, just made me want, like, to drink a big cup of hot chocolate with a lot of whipped cream and like snuggle up with her in a blanket. Not in a creepy way, but it did.
They may trust you, but you got to pay me, sir.
What happened? All right. Let's do Mark, and then I'm going to run to the bathroom again. Mark, my friend, I am going to add you as a member to November readings. As we discussed earlier, I may have misspoke last week. I didn't mean to. I only just today finished September readings because I was so behind. But during the school year, I have plenty of time, so they shouldn't be late again. I just didn't want to add you to October because I'm already kind of overloaded. Nobody's purchasing readings, but members technically are. Patrons technically are. That's why I read for you guys. All right, we're using the Oracle of the Universe. You're welcome. Carol Ann. That's my grandmother's name, my grandmother's best friend's name, my mother's name, and my sister's name. That is a family name. And we always tease my sister about the poltergeist girl because she looked just like her and they were like the same age. We would yell, Callie, go to the light. Melissa, I didn't forget about you either. You're being altered right now, spiritually, in a good way. Think of it as like a psychic surgery. Your one main problem is going to come to an end real quick. I've got a feeling. All right, Mark. I got a feeling that someone's not going to have a good night. I got a feeling he's going to wake up with a big bite. Maybe not tonight. Not feeling all right. Okay, let me stop. Okay. A psychic tune-up. Yes. An oil change, if you will. It's coming. It's coming to a head and it's coming to an end. And I don't think you're going to have much to do with it at this point. I'll talk to you more, but let me read for Mark. He's been so patient. So Mark, you got the Pegasus, the card of freedom, the constellation Pegasus, card number 22. This is the same woman that did the Deep, Dark, and Dangerous Oracle, by the way, which is why there's like a lot of the same myths. Oh, I can cause some damage psychically to people. I never, ever do unless it's absolutely warranted. All right, Mark. Find freedom in the mastery of yourself. You cannot control others. To be truly free, you must cultivate your own independence. No one owns you but you. You always have a choice. Look at your values in order to make the decision. There is a saying in Arabic that translates roughly as, if you ride a horse, you fly without wings. There is, for those of us who love horses, like you do, you have your own horse, nothing like the feeling of the powerful freedom of moving with a horse. The whole sensory overload of speed, sound, smell, and the wind in your hair. And being connected with another animal so closely that is primal in the way it gives awe, pleasure, and a sense of freedom. Pegasus was the immortal horse of mythos who actually did have wings. Pegasus was born from the neck of the dying Medusa. Beautiful and powerful, yet free and wild, Pegasus remained riderless for a really long time. Bellerophon, the hero of Corinth, tamed Pegasus patiently by waiting for the horse to come and drink the water, or come and drink, then securing him with a magical golden bridle. I don't know where water came from. Both became famous for battling the Chimera. Sadly, the hero became full of hubris and tried to fly Pegasus to the god's abode on Olympus. Pegasus resisted this and tried to kick Bellerophon off his back. Zeus saw what was going on and sent down a thunderbolt to Bellerophon, and he was knocked off Pegasus' back and plunged to earth. Pegasus was taken by Zeus to heaven with him as his thunderbolt bearer. Eventually, Pegasus was raised to the night sky for his service. Pegasus is a distinctive constellation with its square of Pegasus formed by a number of its stars, those being Markab, Sheer, Allegheny, and Alpha Andromeda. The brightest star is the orange supergiant Epsilon Pegasi, also known as Enif, which is situated on the horse's muzzle. It also contains star systems with exoplanets and is part of the Perseus group of constellations. Your words of power. I am free and I always have a choice. Do not. Is it really, Mark? That is, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Who just came in and say, hey, Gem, Melissa, and Dragon? I can't. Dude, I can't see who that is. My thing won't work. Joey Hayes, what's up, y'all? All right. So, Mark, here's the deal. Somebody is trying to pressure you into doing something that I feel like you don't want to do it, but I feel like it's morally wrong. So either you're being invited into a situation that you feel is morally wrong, or you like overhear someone talking about like, I just see you being like sucked in to some drama having to do with morals, what's right and what's wrong. And you're unwittingly doing this. You're not doing it on purpose. You're not like eavesdropping. It's just like someone is careless about what they're talking about, or they think you have the same morals and values and they start talking to you, assuming that you're going to go along with them. The universe is saying like, it's your choice whether or not you want to tell them you don't agree. I feel like this also, and this is such a weird message, and I apologize, but it's like, I feel like there's also like some reporting. These people or this person, like they're doing something that is so morally abhorrent that you have no choice but to tell on them. I don't know what this could be. I also feel like pay attention to your horse. Like make sure that she's healthy. Make sure that no one's messing with her, or I see it. I don't know if I want to say this. So what I'm basically being shown is like something happening where your horse is housed. Just check on your horse. Make sure that the people who are caring for her are like morally upright, right? And they're taking care of her. As far as your personal situation, make sure that you don't do anything that doesn't feel right to you. And remember that you don't have to explain yourself. I feel like in this situation, just saying no should be enough, because if you start explaining yourself, then somehow you're going to gain this person or these people as enemies. Whereas you could just say, nope, I'm good. No, thank you. Walk away and not have to deal with any lasting consequences. These are not good people, or this is not like a good person. So there's two messages here. One, make sure your horse is okay. Make sure the people caring for her are morally upright. Secondly, use your own morals, values, and judgment, or morals and values, to make a judgment. Not like I'm judging you, but like, is this something that I want to do based on my beliefs? And the answer more than likely will be no. How you want to go about that is totally up to you. Don't be coerced. If something seems too good to be true, it is in this case. And there's no quick fix or easy way out of any situation that you're in. So take the high road. I'll be right back, guys. Please don't leave. I know some of y'all are getting impatient. Thank you for, hanging around. I will be right back.
I guess I'm supposed to talk.
Yes.
What am I supposed to say?
I don't know.
I don't know. I hope you folks are well. Next will be Divine, then Sandra, then Chris. If you want a card, just let me know. Then after Chris, New England. If you want a card, let me know. Baby UFO, Eris, if you're still around. Melissa, Joey, if you want a card, let us know. Kelly Lewis, hello. And that's it. So with the folks I say, let me know, let me know. I don't usually hang out in the gray area too often, just when I make a decision. When I'm kind of torn between a decision and I'm trying to weigh it out a little better. Okay, Divine, when she comes back, you are next, dear. And then we'll start after that, after Kelly Lewis, we'll do our timestamps, which is only 2, I think, if she does KC and Lotus. Yes, I didn't see that, but I would have looked. But thank you, Blue. I figured they did. Okay. Yeah, I figured they did. Baby UFO usually does. So that's why I didn't ask.
Ghost Dragons. So I'm getting like some really mean messages from the people with that projector. We have to run an ad. So you and I have to do a video call at some point next week to figure out how it works, film myself using it, and then let everyone know what I think. Because they are on me. They're like, we sent you this $1,500 machine. I'm like, yeah, but you didn't give me a time limit. You said by October. And they're like, yeah, but you're the only one that hasn't done anything yet. I'm like, yeah, but I thought I had more time. And they're like, yeah, you got to, here's the code. I'm like, the code was supposed to be gemstones, all capital. Now it's like, yes, exclamation point 2347. I'm like, nobody's going to remember that. Can I have my gemstone code, please? I'm like, and by the way, you're being they were like really rude. I understand.
It's an expensive machine, so I understand.
But I'm public. I'm all the time. It's not like I'm disappearing with it. I did say to them I said to them in a nice way, it didn't come with instructions. Not everyone is super tech savvy. You can tell by my videos and thumbnails. I'm really not the best. All right. Let's get to these a little quicker. I'd like to play some Fortnite. Where's Nutslap?
Divine is next.
Okay. Wow. This week sheds. Divine, I'm going to use Dark Goddess. Kelly, hi. Guys, please, if you can donate to PayPal or Cash App, please. Like I said, I made less than $60 on PayPal and Cash App in the last 6 weeks doing this stream. And I do it for 3 to 4.5 hours. Not trying to guilt y'all, just letting you know, if you can donate. I never get mad. I don't hold it against people. But if you can, please do. Getting ready to storm there. Mark, where are you again? I'm also thinking of doing some courses through StreamYard where I teach how to read Oracle or connect with spirit. I'm working on the journal. So a lot of exciting things. I just feel like every time I try to do something, nobody wants to do it. So I'm going to try again. Okay. I don't like pulling this card because I can't pronounce it. Eresh Kegel. Okay. Yeah. So you're in an area where it'll storm where y'all are. And then 3 days later, we'll get it here. Whenever Steven says, oh, it's pouring here, I know that the next day I'm screwed.
Yeah. He's getting what we got.
And then it'll come to me. Come on, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Thank you, baby UFO. Thank you. I do appreciate it, guys. I'm going to get to a point one day professionally where I don't even need to take donations. And I don't even like saying it, but it's kind of a part of what I do. Yeah, Kegels. Baby Dragon, what's up, girl? All right. So this is the card of coercion, Divine. So I want you to pay attention because this makes me a little worried. Coercion, forcing to conform, enticement in its darkest form. Never jump to each demand. Threats be gone. Now take a stand. By the power of the dark goddess in me, protection in place, blessed be. You have seen some dark days indeed. It's as though your whole life has been run entirely by emotional blackmail. I mean, who can't relate? A victim of coercion, you have carried the fear, guilt, and shame placed upon you by others for their own benefit. Sensitivity to your own wants and needs is playing second fiddle to the desires of others. Unfortunately, this is the only survival skill for existing that you are familiar with, and so you too have become hostage to this way of dark enticement. Time to acknowledge and change your acceptance of any demands that have been placed too heavily upon you. Divine, take a stand, be strong, and don't be coerced into anything that does not sit well with you. Aresh Kigal knows firsthand what it's like to be second best and advises you to walk away. She urges you to reclaim your personal power as you release any victimhood or blackmailing tendencies. Life's too precious to be up for ransom. Don't give in to emotional blackmail. Confide in someone you trust, make a list of your priorities, and put yourself first. Let me tell you that one more again. Make a list of your priorities and put yourself first. Be careful with whom you share your secrets. Someone is asking too many personal questions. Put boundaries in place and enforce them. Says I. A power struggle incites threats. Walk away. So I do feel like this could be the same Jo. There he is. I summoned him. That has been, in your life for a long time causing all these problems. But I also feel like there's someone new here that like there's an issue. Not your issue. They have an issue with you. So it could be like the ex's new boo thing. There's someone here that like just inherently doesn't like you. And I feel like they're trying to like stalk your social media. They're trying to pull you into all this drama and conflict. This isn't coercion of like someone trying to get you to do something for them. I'm seeing this more of like they're trying to coerce you to step outside of yourself, act outside of character, and do something they can point and say, look what you did. Look, you're too far into your power for that. Divine, I feel like you've just gone through too much. You've stepped into your power. You are vibrating very high. So it should be fairly easy for you to not get sucked into this. The problem that I'm seeing is social media. I do feel as though I feel like somebody, and this could be a whole separate entity, I feel like somebody's pretending to be your friend so that they can go report back. Oh, thank you. Thank you, daughter of mine. By the way, if I'm allowed to narrate my books, maybe you could help me. I'm going to work that out. Divine, be really careful with new friends on social media. I don't know which social medias you use. I know you're on Facebook, but I don't really see you post. But Facebook, out of 5,000 friends and 5.4K followers, I only see like 10 people's stuff anyway. I think they do that on purpose. But like, be very, very careful who you allow to view your social media, because I do feel like somebody is either reporting back to someone else, or they're trying to get you in trouble somehow, like with your daughter maybe, or just like with your job. There's something here that they're like, ooh, yeah. So don't post too much personal stuff on social media. I don't think you do anyway. And for the next 2 weeks, at least, I would say for the next month, it might be hard, but don't accept any new friends. Thank you, Nutslap. And yes, I did summon you. I'm like, where is he? I'm going to text him. Andrew Nomeo. Hi. All right, Miss Sandra, let's do this. You've been waiting so patiently. I do appreciate that. Thank you so much. We're going to use Moonology Manifestation. I do. Well, we've been talking a lot lately too, so. Must be Nutslap on the brain. It just doesn't have the saying ring to it. I was talking about the lizardite, the serpentine ring you bought me for Christmas a couple years ago. I'm not wearing it tonight, but I do have it on the charger actually, because I wore it to my doctor. Because someone's, I think Ryan's stone was serpentine. Got an itch. Okay. Guys, don't forget to support the shorts, meaning watch them from beginning to end. I've been trying to get pretty funny with it. If you're offended, don't watch. But if you know me, you know not to be offended. All right. I'm such an idiot. Sandra. New moon in Capricorn, step up and lead. My aunt messaged me. She's like, can you do a reading for me? There's someone around here. She lives in Florida. She's like, that does it. I'm like, don't pay. Like, I'm your niece. I'm literally named after you. And you're going to go pay someone else. Heather, I swear to God, I swear to you, the next words out of my mouth just now were going to be, Heather B, if you're listening, listen to this message too. No, not too late. That's why I had to stop for a minute, because I couldn't think of Sandra's name, because I kept thinking Heather B, Heather B, Heather B. All right. Anyway, yes, you can have a card, of course. Sandra, the good news is that you know what you want, and on some level, you know how to get it. Step up and know that you're the boss of your own life. A new, more disciplined approach is needed, or a new plan. Strategy is called for. This card reminds you that ambition is not a dirty word, whatever you want to create in your life. There's no such thing as too big a goal, but break your plans into smaller, more achievable pieces. Slow and steady wins the race. Release any blocks to success. Thank you so much, Divine Empathic. Everyone who's donating, thank you. I really do appreciate it. I want to get Ghost Dragons a birthday present from the group, and his birthday's next week, and I can't do it right now. I don't have any money. So like, I'm being totally serious. Sandra, this card is an especially good sign for matters related to your professional life, life goals and ambitions, or a work colleague. Think about where you want to be in a year, consciously visualize it, write a 12-month plan detailing how you're going to get there. Your manifestation affirmation for the next 2 weeks: the harder I work, the luckier I get. So I definitely do feel like, even if it's just like in the back of your mind right now, you do have an idea of like where you want to go, what you want to be, what you want to do with your life. I feel like you have major change on the brain. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you will in the next week or two. It's like you finally decided what either you want to do for a living, or like something you finally decided to end or begin a relationship, to move across the country. Like there's a major decision here that you're finally like, yes, this is what I want to do. The problem's going to come in when you expect it to happen like that. I think because you've been thinking about it so long. Hold on one second, Heather. I think because you've been thinking about it for so long that, like, to you, it should be, you're subconsciously trying to like imagine it's going to be easier to obtain. And the fact of the matter is, Sandra, is that it's not. It's not going to be any harder than it would be for anyone else, but you have to put the actionable steps behind everything, right? So whatever you're trying to manifest, double your manifestation efforts. Tell yourself every day that you are worthy and deserving of what and or whoever this is. And here's the thing. This is actual homework, okay? Eris, hey! Actual homework. Write down a 30-day goal, a 6-month goal, 1-year goal, and then 5 years, right? And then follow it. Break it down into smaller pieces, because if you try to just run towards this, I think it's just like, it's not going to work, and you're going to have to wait so much longer and work so much harder because you rushed it, and like you jumped on a too good to be true opportunity, or you invested your money in the wrong place, or you trusted the wrong person because you weren't listening to your inner voice. You weren't listening to your team, your intuition. You were instead ignoring it so that you can get things done. Slow and steady wins the race. Do not cut corners. Heather, it better not be your birthday.
She said it was.
I would have put it in the community. I would have put it on Facebook. A lot of people don't like when I tag them, or I imagine they don't like when I tag them for their birthday because I'm the witch. And someone even told me like I had to untag that, no offense. And I'm like, okay. But happy birthday, girl. You are beautiful. You are amazing. You are deserving. You are strong. You are in your power. Sandra, you are so welcome. Sandra, you are so deserving of what and or whoever this is. But you have to take your time and really pay attention, because for some reason, there are people out there who do not want to see you succeed. We all have those people doing the devil's work, or the enemy, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same in the end. Oh, I love when people come in here for their birthday. It's like, that is so awesome that like people want to spend some of their birthday with us. I'm digging it. What did I say though? I told y'all today. I'm just kidding. Or am I? All right, who's next?
Chris,
my hair.
Jarvis, if he's still here.
This? Jarvis, are you here?
Right? Christopher. Christopher. Did you want a card, sir? I didn't see, because things got kind of crazy.
Sometimes he leaves before he's called.
Well,
like he comes in out.
He poops out. He's been in the hospital.
So let's put him for a timestamp. We'll surprise him this week with one.
Go ahead and do New England. Did you want a card? And Baby UFO, if he doesn't want a card.
Netter got his personal today. When you make a donation of how much the readings cost or more, I usually give you a reading. Like, even if you're not like, this is for a reading and you donate 60 or more dollars. And sometimes if I have like a lot of time, if it's $20 or more, I'll do one. Sometimes I'm just compelled to read for people. My mentor's like, you got to stop doing that. I'm like, I literally can't stop doing that. Like, if spirit tells me to read for someone, I can't be like, no, what is my gift and ability for? Right. So just know that, like, if you donate a certain amount, there are people that donate like big sums of money. Like once a year, I'll get like a really large donation. And I try, if I can, to send them what I have that's equivalent to what they donated. All right, who's next? I
So
forgot.
go ahead and do
Baby
Baby
UFO?
UFO because I know he wants a card.
Yeah, we're going to do Fairy Forest, boo. I was talking to some drivers in Salt Lake City. They talking about drivers running 80,000 Frito-Lay loads, not following low altitude routes. Guys be paying for the loads. So I didn't meet them. I don't want to lie. My husband did. This dude said that he steals 300 pallets of deliveries from Amazon every month. And he never gets in trouble and he never gets caught because the shipments change hands so much that it's like they don't even, and they make so much money. That's why a lot of the time, like, your order won't show up. Okay, I guess this is your card. I love this card, by the way. The Hedge Witch. She's so beautiful. Card number 5, Herb Wisdom, Secrets, and Hidden Love. Ooh, sexy. Rawr. You are being asked to consider herbal forms of healing. Baby UFO, working with what is in between, effective and yet natural, available and yet still hardly acknowledged. Excuse me, McAfee. Can you please get out of here? Thank you, sir. I just assume it's a sir. Changing the food you eat. Changing the foods you eat to include more greens and herbs and to boost energy and health and begin to pay very serious, this is annoying me, I'm so sorry, guys, very serious attention to the quality of the food you eat, again, with a very close focus on the world of herbs and spices and plants. Baby UFO, you can at this time adjust the way you eat and find essential oil blends which assist you with sleeping, with becoming calm, with dissipating anger, increasing self-love, and deepening your wisdom. It just so happens, I sell them. Explore growing your own flowers, vegetables, and herbs. When you begin to consider the truth about what you ingest, it becomes the very molecules of your body, and you may decide at this time to reduce additives. So I don't like this reading because and there are a lot of cards like this where the author just like goes on a rant about their own personal opinions. And that's kind of what this card is, as beautiful as the Hedge Witch is. I would definitely say to pay close attention to your health. Baby UFO, I would say watch what you eat. I don't know why I'm seeing like a food poisoning type deal going on. Very food sensitive. Okay, so this actually for once makes sense to some. It always ends up making sense, but to me, I always roll my eyes at it, and I should stop doing that. I like snub the herbal vegan people. So yeah, in the next couple of weeks, definitely. My daughter's gluten intolerant. It's such a pain. I feel so bad for her. People think it's a preference, and sometimes it is. But when you actually have celiac disease like she has, it is so painful. And like, I feel for you. So really watch in the next, don't like eat out. But don't go out to eat. I feel like there's just like I see food poisoning. I don't know like what that means. I know I've said this to you before and I don't know how it worked out, but I do feel a soul connection coming in, but you have to actually put yourself out there to meet people in order for that to happen. This person could just like stumble into like your shop. May not end up being romantic, but definitely a cool person that you definitely needed to meet and they needed to meet you. But I think the main message here, and I'm sorry if this isn't what you were looking for, is to really watch what you ingest. And I'm also hearing watch what you breathe in. Do you work around like chemicals or I just feel like I see you like you breathe in too much. Now you have a headache. There's confusion. be really careful in the next couple weeks, okay? With like what you ingest, what you breathe in, even what you touch. I just see like your sensitivities and allergies like ramping up for some reason. Probably we're ending the retrograde. There's that big surge of like lunatic energy. That's probably what's happening. Mark, love you, sweetie. I'll talk to you soon. We're going to have many more live streams coming in the coming months, new schedule and things like that. So you'll see a lot more of me and us. All right. So I just want to make sure, baby UFO, that you understand this may not be the biggest, baddest reading I've ever given, but it is really important because I don't want to see you sick or like hospitalized. Bleach and roach powder, sick last week. Okay. So that might be what I'm seeing because I'm seeing you like inhale and then sick. Okay, yeah, that's what that is definitely what I'm seeing. And spirit is showing me that. I'm also to tell you, like, that's another reason, like, your immune system right now is compromised. It's kind of down. So just make sure you take extra good care of yourself, even if you can't take off work or whatever the case may be. Make sure that you're putting yourself first. You're prioritizing your physical health. Right? Where normally I'd say emotional, mental, spiritual, psychic health. No, your physical health must come first in the next 2 weeks, or you are going to end up very sick in the hospital or bedridden. Blue Crossroads. He's deep. He's dark. He's dangerous. I want to do that short where it's like, doom, or it goes, doom, 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 boom, boom, and you answer questions when you go like this. I don't know what I'm talking about. Who's next?
Eris. Okay. And I'm going to back out a minute.
Why? Are you okay?
I'll be back.
All right. Who's after Eris? Okay.
After Eris will be Melissa.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I just got to go potty.
Nope. Go do your thing. Oh, no. Don't fall, please. Thank you. Eris, I'm going to use Aether Creatures. If Melissa's okay with it, I'll talk to you about that in private next up. Melissa, if I wasn't such a stickler for privacy, I would tell Aunt Edna what happened. I am not a happy camper about that situation. I'm working on it.
This ghost knows too.
I'm telling you. Yeah, well, I share everything with Ghost Dragons, but it's happened. It's in the works. Like I told you, I can't do much, but I can do what I can do, and I will do it. I am doing it already. All right, Eris. Like to be done by 11, so stop yapping, Gemma. Oh, gosh. Oh, my God. No. Eris, you got the Jinn in the upside down, the shadow. Nope, Ghost, go do your thing. I just want to make sure you're all right. Did you guys see? It's probably really old, but I'm old, so I'm always like behind all the trends and everything. Yeah, I didn't tell Blue exactly what it was, but I was like, where are you? And he's like, I'm in Alabama. I was like, the other Melissa's in Alabama. I have your address. I was going to send him to your house. And he would have went without even knowing like the whole situation because you've talked in here. So anyway, no, Aunt Edna, everybody listen real quick. Tia Tequila, do you guys remember her? If you're around my age, you should. She was on Shot of Love with Tia Tequila. I think she started off on the Bad Girls Club, but I'm not 100% sure about that. She was so young and so beautiful. She became famous. Did y'all see her TikTok? Girl, I dropped to my knees and started praying for this woman. She was talking about how she met this really, and you could tell she was on something, but she was serious. She was talking about how she met this really attractive man, and she went home and she fell in love like immediately and slept with him. Something was up with the sex, and she told him, what are you? transformed into a red dragon with red eyes and said, I'm Jesus Christ and I'm coming back and you're going to be my queen, and everybody that mocks you for this story is going to bow down to you and me. She made love to it again as the dragon. Now, this is what she says. Do you believe it or you don't? With everything going on in the world, the dragon from the sea, the devil, Satan. And she was like, I know it was Jesus Christ. She's like, and when he comes back, y'all are going to be sorry for how you're treating me. I was like, bro, it's on TikTok, Anna, but if I can find it on YouTube, I'll send you a link. I was in shock. I couldn't believe it. And you know what the worst part about it was? I believe her. I believe her. Yeah, Netter, yes. Anyway, Eris, sorry about that. Card number 9, the Djinn in the reverse. If the Djinn has appeared to you in reverse, Eris, you have either lost touch with your desire or you need to amend your desire because you actually want something different to what you keep thinking or saying you want. It's time to go back to the drawing board, redefine your desires. It may be time to go a totally different way and to do something entirely different so as to attain life satisfaction. It's usually easier to do this if you imagine that you have a clean slate with no prior associations. One exercise you can try is to pretend that you were an alien who just landed on Earth for the first time, or a coma patient that just woke up with amnesia. Start to experience and try new things, but as if it is the first time you are ever experiencing them. Taste a carrot as if you have never tasted one before, even if you've eaten hundreds in your lifetime. See what you like and don't like and think about why you do or don't like it. It's time to get back in touch with your joy. To do this, you need to find out what feels good, what you could focus on for hours, and yet it feels like minutes. What interests you and causes you to experience positive emotion, or at the very least, release. No, Mandela effect. Yeah. That's when we timeline jump, right? So I'm on a timeline today of being a YouTuber, like a lowly YouTuber. But in 2 weeks, I could wake up and be on the timeline of, okay, now I'm YouTube famous and I'm signing autographs and making money. So Eris, yeah, there's something that you're either doing, planning on doing, have agreed to do. Did you hear what I said, Stephen, about Tia Tequila?
Heard some of it, but I already know the story about her. She's gonna.
Thanks, Joey. It does. It is. I'm sorry, Eris. So there's something you're either doing that you agreed to do, or that, you know, like you were planning on doing that you actually don't want to do. You have no interest in it. I feel as though you were kind of like testing the waters with something, but then got pulled too deep into it. Right? So like you were having fun going clubbing with your best friend every night because he needed a wingman, but now like you don't want to do that anymore. That's something so simple and dumb, but like, you know what I mean? I feel like you really should pretend as though like you don't have, your desire is gone. And I feel like for some reason you're afraid to speak up about it. So I don't know if this is ending a romantic relationship or ending a friendship, ending like a kinship. Ron Forrest, it's run by much worse. But sometimes, yes, that is true. That's not even the worst of it. I have to stop getting distracted because I'm losing the messages. Ron, what's up? When's your birthday, by the way? I'll tell you your sign. So yeah, Eris, it's time to back out now. Don't get any deeper into this. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, there's going to be something that's asked of you in the next couple of weeks that you're going to feel completely and totally obligated to say yes to. Do not do it. You're going to get sucked in and you're going to be like not focused now on your goals because now you're already in this, right? Just say no. All right. Don't do it. So yeah, it scared me very much because I believe her. You guys know I don't talk about it a lot, but I'm a diehard devout Christian. That is scary to me. Okay, I'm sorry. Who's next? Melissa Nicole, me too, girl.
Melissa Nicole is next. Then Joey.
Melissa, I'm going to use fairy tale. Joey, by the way, thanks for coming in again. Thanks for hanging out, putting up with me. Next time I'm strapping the wig down, though. This is driving me crazy. Nutslap asked me last night if I was any good at Fortnite. I was like, I get wins. I get more victory royales by myself, though, because I told him, I'm like, Steven, I'm like, I always run off and don't tell him what I'm doing and then get mad at him and yell for him not knowing what I'm doing. And the answer is always this: I'm sorry. As though, like, we have fun, though. I'm hoping to end early enough to be able to play tonight. Thank you. Yeah, I was really excited to get this one because I have 4 of the, like, you see me wear the pink wig all the time. That's 4 different wigs, 2 curly, 2 straight, but they all look the same. And with the black in it, I was really excited. There's a dark red and black as well. I want to get some darker ones, black ones, blue, black, things like that, but I just can't find them. And when I do find them, they're very wiggy. All right, Melissa.
No one throws me under the bus, not slap. She just thinks she does.
A smart girl knows when and how to act dumb. One of my most viewed things on my channel is that Marilyn Monroe skit where she's like, you must think I was born yesterday. And the lady's like, sometimes there really just is no other, whatever. Oh, the Little Mermaid, Melissa, the card of sacrifice. And I don't want to be mean, and I'm trying to bring levity to the situation, but the sacrifice is going to be your life if you don't. Do you know I used to sing that for karaoke? I used to sing. I know every word. I loved Xtina, but I am a Britney fanatic. Like, that is my girl. I believe I was Britney in another incarnation. Melissa, when this card comes to you, there is every chance you are considering making an enormous sacrifice. Firstly, you're restricting your true voice, and you've given up speaking from the heart about what you truly feel in order to seem more acceptable to someone else or to avoid conflict with them. Secondly, you have given up the depth of your own emotions, and you're trying to do your best to fit into an environment that is enormously uncomfortable for you. You want to tell me I don't connect with spirit? It's almost painful, and you are certainly feeling heavy. Wigs be wiggin'. Ill at ease, oh, nuts up for sure, and awkward. This card asks you to consider why you are sacrificing so much of your true self for this chance at belonging and this chance at what isn't love. This card can also come forth to speak with you when you are considering making changes to your face or your body via surgery in order to be more appealing to someone or a potential love. There is so much work for you to do on self-acceptance and to understand that the path you are currently taking involves so much self-sacrifice and pain that it will not lead to a happy ending. It can't lead to a happy ending, but can only lead to pain, suffering, and the extinguishing of your spirit. Please consider the changes you are making and why you're making them rather than falling deeply into a kind of trance of desire. No one has asked for you to make changes. This is your own choice and your own doing. And if you're to make them, they have to be for your highest good, not because you want to please someone else. Denying your heritage, your own personal talents and skills, and your beautiful abilities will not make you more lovable. It'll only and always lead to pain and ultimately perhaps to some pity, but it will never win you real love. Please reconsider now this road of sacrifice and understand that you can become a truly wonderful being by most being your own true self. There is magic, unnatural magic, which may bring to you what you wish for, but it will come at far too great a cost to even consider it. Melissa, please heed the Little Mermaid's message. Do not go further into this. Return to your true self and become who you are for your own self and for your soul's sake. I usually don't read the meanings, but I'm gonna. You're sacrificing too much for love. Begin again to speak your truth. Avoid bargains that ask for more than they give over the long term. A short-term deal to solve a seeming problem is not the answer. Beware of relationships which demand great sacrifice of your true self. Love unrequited is best farewelled. Love who you are. Your unique self is precious. Hans Christian Andersen. Run, Forrest. Great birthday, by the way. So you are a Capricorn. Love it. Capricorn sun, anyway. Yeah. Melissa, I don't even know like what else to say. No, it should already, I mean, I'm not judging you, but I feel like if you really sat down and think about it, it's actually hate. The love you think you feel for this person is love that has been beaten and ingrained into you. You have been beaten into submission of thinking you love this person when really it's a trauma bond. And I get it. I was there. I told you my story. So you know that like I'm not someone on the outside saying, just leave. I can't impress upon you enough, though, why you have to at least start getting out of there. Melissa, I know you can't just up and leave, right? But you have to do something. You have to start separating. It's not only that you could die, it's that you can continue to live without your soul. How many pieces of your soul do you think this person has taken? They're like the freaking, I almost said the F word, the freaking collector. I believe this is going to start with full surrender and understanding that they are never going to have a moment of clarity where they're like, oh my gosh, look what I put this girl through. Let me love her. They are never going to see what they're doing as wrong. They're never going to love you. He doesn't love you. He can't love anyone but himself. Could you imagine? Okay, so say you had, I'm trying to think of how to explain this because you don't have kids. Say you had a little kid, like a 5-year-old little girl. Can you even imagine beating the crap out of her like he does to you and biting her? It's not that you're a little kid, but spiritually you are. Because all you want is reciprocated love, reciprocity of energy. Yeah, you love, oh my God, Eris, thank you. You love the person that they showed you before the mask slipped. You love the person when they breadcrumb you. I'm going to say this real quick. This is the perfect example I've ever seen of a relationship with a narcissist. Your narcissist gives you a whole loaf of bread and says, I'm going to give you all this bread, but in return, I want all of your love and your whole soul. And you're like, yeah, let's do it, right? I'm in love. A few weeks go by and the narcissist gives you a half a loaf of bread and still wants all of your heart and your whole soul. And you're like, well, it's still a lot of bread. I'll take it. Next thing you know, you're getting one slice of bread. And you're like, I really don't know if I can give you my whole heart and soul today. And the narcissist is like, oh, so now you're being ungrateful? Look how you are. And you're like, no, I'll take it. Thank you. Weeks go by and you're like, hey, are you going to give me any bread today? They give you a tiny crumb and they're like, you better be grateful too. And you're like, anything I can get. I'm always here if you need to talk. I don't want to go further into it publicly like this. And plus I want to end soon, but we've got to get you out of there. And I know the authorities don't help. And I know shelters, it's like, I know, but we do have to get you out of there before he kills you because he will kill you. I've seen it. And he kills you in a way I'm not allowed to say on YouTube, but it involves his hands around your throat. Let's move. You're welcome, Ron.
Joey.
By the way, guys, thank you so much for commenting on, like, a lot of y'all are just putting like the gemstone emoji on every single short and video that I do. Alexander Uberholland's doing that as well for me. And some girl was like, what an ugly wig. And as for you, stop commenting on every video. I was like, actually, I asked everyone to do that because it helps the algorithm. I'm like, I don't know if you're aware, but like it's rude to comment on someone, especially a woman's looks when she's not asking. I'm like, so if you're not aware you're being rude, even a kindergartner knows that, you're welcome to stay if you're not going to be rude. I never heard from them again. Bye. Baby girl, baby boy, baby they. Joey, I am using the shaman stream. Well, Melissa, once they do that, they're like, 60 times more likely to kill you that way. Once it's done once. We love you too. And I know it's not easy. Like I said, I will never sit in judgment on you. I know you can't just get out right now. And I know you can't have him just removed right now because he's just going to be released and come right back. I get it. I don't know the solution, but I know that we have to find one. I'll just wait. They're just trolls. What did he do? Where did... Ghost. You hit like every single button. I was big, I was small, I was large, I was tall, I was alone. All right, Joey.
I'm bouncing all over the place.
Okay.
Maybe I should have stayed in bed.
No, I'm only messing with you. It was just funny because it went from one to the other to the other to the other. That's what I keep telling her. Her and Netter need to move out of state. Netter for whole different reasons. Okay, Joey, you got the Sky Dancers, the card of surrender, card number 48. Liberation from attachment and surrender. When a Sky Dancer appears, she's inviting you to welcome the deepest power of the feminine into your life. You have already overanalyzed your situation to exhaustion. Now is the time to invite the sacred feminine, the wisdom within your heart, no matter your gender, to guide you to success. If you have become earthbound, plotting and planning and praying for change, cease and desist. Joey, break the habit of being yourself, of repeating the same behavior and hoping for a different outcome. Stop trying to figure it all out and stop overthinking it. Give in. Surrender. The Sky Dancers are heralding the arrival of a new relationship with yourself in your work or in your love life. Do not assume that this person or opportunity is going to rescue you from you. The only way to liberation is to kiss the ground goodbye and take flight, to rise above the fray and the drama of the struggling, arguing mind. Dance in the sky and view the madness below. By simply witnessing the actors and the human comedy unfolding on the ground, you're transforming it. As you observe the drama, you unleash the power of the sacred feminine that allows for resolution. The Sky Dancers know the maps of heaven, Joey, and they know the way to the holiest and most sacred spaces on earth. They come to help you with your current life and, even more important, to guide you to the realization of your own divinity. I just know that, Melissa, you couldn't have gotten a better card out of all 250 decks. That's how I know I'm properly connected, and that's where my confidence in myself and my work comes in. I know what I'm talking about, and I don't care who believes that. Yeah, and that's perfectly normal. All right, Joey, yeah, I don't know what this is, but you've been going like rounds and round for a while of like, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? How can I do this? Maybe I want to, like, there's a lot of confusion here over a situation, right? She's not shy. Are you out of your rabbit butt mind? That's my girl. Scared, maybe. I don't know what the situation is, but I'm feeling like I want to make a decision so bad, but like then there's this other thing and I can't do both. Joey, I feel like what the universe is saying is like, take a step outside of yourself, right? So think about the person you love most in the world, whatever the relationship is, your mom, your dad, your kids, your wife, your brother, it doesn't matter. What advice would you give that person if they were struggling through your situation? Take that advice. That is exactly what I'm seeing. It's like the problem is you're too close to whatever this is. You have to take a step back. Once you do that and you can see the situation for what it really is without like either the rose-colored glasses or the doom and gloom drama glasses, you'll see it through a lens of truth from your heart space. And that's when you're going to be able to make a decision. All right, who's next?
Ellie Lewis. Sorry about the confusion.
You're fine. Kelly, I'm going to use Dark Goddess. Eris says, I'm going to say this is the universe is giving you options. The longer you wait, the less options will be there. Yeah, that's for sure. And I feel like a part of you could be making excuses, not like purposely. I just feel like innately you've grown to become so used to this, right? Like you hate it. I'm so embarrassed by this. I have to keep doing this. I didn't strap it down. It's embarrassing, but at the same time, it's like it's what you're used to. And Batmom said it, and I keep saying Batmom said it. It's sometimes it's just easier to stay. It's what you know. The devil you know is better than the one you don't know, but they're both devils. The lesser of two evils is still evil. I get it. Right now, you're not in a space where I feel like you really would be able to stay gone. But I do feel like we have to find a way to get him permanently gone, or at least gone for long enough that you come to no longer normalize being abused like an animal, worse than an animal. I saved the photos you sent me and the texts, not to show anyone, but in case something happens to you. Melissa, they won't ever again. I truly believe this will, if you know, you don't die, I believe that this will be the last one. Easy, Gem. It'll be I think that now, like, you'll have to spend so much time healing, that by the time you do, you'll only attract healed people. I feel the same way. You're so welcome, and I'm always here to talk. You can vent, even if I don't get back to you immediately. Oh man, and you don't want to. I think Ghost Dragon said it. He was like, we don't want to have to sick Aunt Edna on him. Sargo, hi. All right, Kelly. You got Dear Woman, the card of temptation. Dude, Dear Woman. I knew I had seen it somewhere. Remember I kept saying I've seen it somewhere? I was visited by this thing. A temptress loves temptation, sin, seduction lures innocence in. Fooled be not by woodland mist. Take heed, wise up, it's time to resist. By the power of the dark goddess in me, protection and place blessed be. Kelly. Lead us not into temptation. To that dear woman would softly whisper, why not? And beckon you to her all the same. Sometimes a lesson must be fully experienced to be understood. You are being tempted to try something you would normally steer clear of, perhaps an affair, a risky business venture, or even to indulge in activities that pose a risk to your health. Yes, it definitely has been, sir. There is an innocence in the way in which this is happening, but that simply masks how close you are to the edge of the woods from which this beautiful goddess calls. Only you can know if answering her is wise. If you decide to walk into the woods to give in to the temptation, then be sure to take precautions. Let someone know what you are doing and where you're going in advance. Be prepared to take responsibility when you can no longer see the forest for the trees, or you may have to find your own way out. You have feelings for someone else. The chance to make a quick buck presents itself. Some things are better left alone. Someone is trying to drag you back. Stay on the right side of the law. Seek help for a relapse. Don't lend money on a whim. If something looks too good to be true, that's because it is. So, Kelly, this is actually like a really important message too. Every message is important. Everyone's going through their own stuff, but I do see you kind of being pulled into something. Okay, so obviously I think that means it resonates. The universe is like, look, you can do what you want, but if you do this, whatever it is, you're going to be stepping off your path. And you're going to have to deal with the consequences of that, because when you disconnect from the spiritual energy of your team, they're still there. They cannot do anything to help you. Even if you call them in to do it, you have to reconnect by doing the right thing, trusting your intuition, being responsible and accountable. So your team is like, go ahead and do it if you want, but you're being tempted by the enemy, by the devil, by Satan, whatever you call, trying to get another light worker into sin. I don't know what this is. It doesn't sound like it's anything small. I think it's like a big deal. Please make sure you deal with this right way, like what's morally right, and don't justify doing the wrong thing. Two wrongs never make a right. I don't know what please don't do whatever this is. If something or someone seems too good to be true, they usually are. It usually is. And in this case, it definitely is. There is nothing good that's going to come out of this situation. and you're going to be even further back than where you are right now. And like, you just started on your spiritual journey. Eris, I feel like now I'm so learned. I will never ignore a single red flag. Like whoever, like if I ever for any reason were dating that poor person, because I would call them out on every little thing and be like, are you secretly a narcissist? You know what I mean? I'd be like, why do you want to meet my mom? We've only been together 5 years. What are you trying to stalk me? I swear I would have to do so much healing. Unless I like already knew and trusted the person. Yeah. Who's next?
My daughter.
Melissa,
Ashley, you're up.
If you did tell him, would he be able to help you? Ashley, I'm going to use deep, dark, and dangerous. I am old. I'm just saying. Yeah, absolutely, Edna. There's my girl. Steven, we need to start booking for Power Unity. I've got to do a donation sweep to get money to book my hotel room. Because I don't know how I'm going to do that. I have no idea where that money's coming from. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Getting booked as far as like the entrance tickets and chip, like that's not much. It's the room situation.
I'm just going to sleep in my car.
No, you're not. You'll probably just get a room next to us. Or I was thinking if we split it, we can all stay in the same room. But even if we got that suite, it was like $300. And there's not enough room because I can't sleep. He snores. RJ can't sleep with him.
And I rock.
And you rock. So, all right, we'll figure it out.
That freaked that poor little kid out. He's wake up in the middle of the night and me going like this.
I'm just thinking out loud. I remember when you came by when I was still sleeping really early in the morning to have coffee with mom and she wasn't awake yet. So you were just sitting there on a chair at the edge of the bed and I woke up and it looked like you were talking to yourself, but you were actually rocking back and forth. And I remember thinking, oh my God, like what is wrong? Like it was so scary because I had just woken up and I see you in the corner going, I don't know. I don't know. Really what you were doing was trying to talk like yourself. Like it looked like you were like talking to the fireplace and rocking back and forth.
I was trying to talk down because I try to hide it in front of people and sometimes it just shows itself.
No, I absolutely know. It was just strange because one, like I didn't expect you to be there because you guys were supposed to be going to get coffee. But two, it was just when you just wake up and see something like that.
Oh, I know.
All right. Sure. So, Kelly, you're so welcome. Everybody, you guys are welcome. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out. So, Baby Dragon, you got the Mithras, actually, the card of loyalty. It's a deep card number 15. If you want loyalty, be worthy of it. Hold to your agreements. If you make promises to yourself, keep them. You may be used to holding to your agreements with others, but neglecting yourself. Trust relates to loyalty. Whether Mithras was a god sparked in Persia or India, or whether he sprang fully formed in the ancient Roman Empire is not known for sure. Either way, he was a deity of action, honor, and sacrifice, and his mysteries were passed carefully from initiate to initiate. The true origins of the cult of Mithras are not known, and this is partially due to the inherently hidden nature of the rites and rituals that were communicated through a tightly held hierarchical structure. Mithras, it was said, was the god of the ordinary Roman soldier. The ordinary Roman soldier. In war, the Roman soldier often held a tight battle formation or series of maneuvers. To be successful, each man had to rely on the others next to or near him to be holding the line in the plan. In the testudo or tortoise formation, each shield is brought together in a wall that extends to the side. So this is like in the movie 300 where they all do that thing. Dargo, it's so good to see you. to the side and over the soldiers' heads. Each man relies on the other to be covered and protected. Men therefore had to trust each other because that trust meant surviving. This close connection they had with each other is one of the key reasons the Roman legions were unbeatable. The Mithraic mysteries allowed this bond to be further strengthened and ritualized and given a divine blessing. Admission into the Mithraic community was completed with a handshake with the pater, father or patron, just as Mithras and Saul, the sun god, shook hands. The initiates were thus referred to as Sidexion, those united by the handshake. This is where the modern handshake actually comes from. It's a symbol of trust. Plant companion, sunflower, beautiful. Crystal companion, sunstone. I usually wear my sunstone ring, but today I've got the golden obsidian. So, okay. Baby girl, you're putting too many other people and you're just putting too much before yourself. So you're on this spiritual journey, and I know that you are because, one, I know you personally. I look at you like a daughter. Two, you're here. When people are here all the time and they keep coming back, friends, not friends, whatever they are, even the ones that listen in the background, you're on a spiritual journey. The thing is, if you don't pay any attention to that journey, how are you going to make any progress? It's like trying to pass a test when you didn't study. Right? I never had to study. I know some people don't have to, but you guys understand what I'm saying. Ashley, the universe wants you to do for you. And that doesn't mean selfishly, and it doesn't mean you can't still do for others. But if it comes down to keeping a promise to yourself or helping a random person that randomly calls you out of the blue, keep the promise to yourself. Make promises to yourself, commitments to yourself, to your physical growth, to your spiritual growth, to your physical healing, mental, emotional, psychic, energy. It's all scattered because you're ready to hop, skip, and jump at a moment's notice. My dad calls it to do the hop sing for anybody but yourself. You have no problem with putting yourself last. And I'm not standing in judgment or indictment because I've always been that way too. And this isn't just about your family. Like, we're not talking about your kids. Obviously, kids come first. If your husband is a good man, he should come first. But that doesn't mean he always has to come before you. Your kids don't always have to come before you either. I always say, imagine you're a cup filled with water. Everyone that you do something for is taking a sip, or some people take gulps, and some people will come by and just knock over the glass just because it's funny. Anybody who's not refilling that cup in some way needs to go. There are people in your life that are asking you to do things just because they know you will, because they don't feel like doing them. And it's like, oh, Ashley will do it. Good. And I'm sorry to say that's good, but you know what? You will get more friends. I'm your bestie. I'm always here for you. I know I suck at getting back to people, but that'll change as we go forward. And I'm always here in an emergency if you ever really needed me. Okay. Like I would be for any of my kids, even though we might be around the same age. I don't know. You know what I mean. I want you to really, the universe wants you in the next couple of weeks, Ashley, make it a point to go out of your way for yourself. Okay. So cancel plans to help so-and-so with XYZ and go on a staycation to a cheap hotel and use their jacuzzi. If you don't have any money, go for a walk in the woods and literally stop and smell the flowers. You deserve to be treated with dignity, kindness, and respect, not just by others, but by yourself as well. Look at your to-do list and see what can be taken away. There's always at least one thing, and you can prioritize me time. For the past 2 days, I've forgotten to do my yoga. And it's part of my weight loss journey, right? Because I put the yoga with the focus of the stomach. What am I doing? I'm prioritizing getting scripts done for my boss or writing a book for my mentor, or for me too, but you know what I mean? I'm not prioritizing something I enjoy. Please do that in the next couple of weeks. Guys, I'm going to say it again. I don't mean to hound you. If you could donate to PayPal or Cash App, I really do appreciate it. If you can't, no worries. But I do have to start bringing it up more because I think some people do want to, but then they forget. It is what it is. Who's next? Got to get done.
Yes.
Stop talking so much so that I can get done. Okay? You talk way too much. You ramble all night. And now look. I love you. I'm only kidding.
I love you too.
Nutslop, we're going to use the ancestor spirit.
No, I don't want a gift. She needs it more than I need.
All right, Miss Melissa. Yes, Nutslop. We can say no, but that is what's happening here. I'm a total
You're very welcome, sir. And Gemma, before you start, I need to find something here.
Baby dragon, yes. Good. Keep going. Manifest that. Nutslap, everyone's the a-hole in someone's story. And I'm sure you can find an ex-boyfriend or two that are like, she's still alive. She's not in prison for like hurting someone. Trust me. Oh, Joey, you are so sweet. Thank you for coming in. Hurry up. I got to pee. Well, why don't you go pee? Yeah, but that girl, Netter, was... Do you see the cards I'm pulling tonight, Netter? It's like you're reading all over again, and y'all see me shuffling. Okay, Nutslap, honor the deities around you, prayers, offerings, and help.
Can I say drip, drip, drip in the background while you do the reading?
Stop. No. It's okay to ask for help from the spiritual world. This card has appeared for you because an angel, guide, or other spirit helper is assisting you with your questions or problem. Ground psychically, protect and shield your energy, then meditate. Listen, look, feel, and pay attention to what they are trying to show or say to you. You may feel drawn to learning about or working with a specific god or goddess. Develop your knowledge and relationship with a deity you feel connected to. If it doesn't have to be an Egyptian god or goddess, it could be any deity from a completely different culture. You may be surprised at who you feel drawn to. You may like to learn how to prepare a ritual or an offering to honor a specific deity. If you already use ritual or prayer to connect with a deity, this is a sign that they want you to work with them more closely. Make time to reconnect with your chosen god, goddess, or spirit helper today. Now, the reason I read that so quickly is because no. Oh, they're home. No, this is you connecting with your spirit team. I guess there are messages, I'm seeing like messages flowing in that they're not like penetrating. Like in your dreams, like you're not remembering the dream, or like a download's coming in and you're not paying enough attention. And I feel like I can send you like a 7-minute, 12-minute, 15 tops guided meditation to help you better open up your third eye and like receive these messages, to open up your spirit. I feel like that's what you're kind of being led to do, because there's a situation you need an answer to. Even though you're not asking a question, you're like, no, I'm good. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you right after I put RJ to bed, because there's a solution to like this big issue in your life. And like, again, you're not even really asking, you're kind of just in it like, well, eventually something will happen, I'm just going to do my thing, which is fine because that's where you're supposed to be right now, but that's about to change. All right, who's next? Who needs to sign? Because I'll sign it. Can you get a digital signature?
She has to have an inspection done. She's so close. She'll get it. Next is Andrew, if he's still here, and then Heather.
He is.
Andrew doesn't introduce Heather. Oh, Andrew's here. I just saw him.
Andrew's here. I just saw him. Yeah.
I just saw him. Sorry, Andrew.
Andrew, I want to use the magic of you.
I gotta teach her how to get. I gotta get her frozen boxes so she can send us goodies, Gemma.
Yes. She said she's gonna as soon as she's all set up. So I have patience. So Nomio, you got translucence, love the darkness. This card, the image on it always creeps me out, but like not in a bad way. Just it's creepy. Nomio, it's time to enter the underworld. You have been existing on the superficial plane for too long, and a balance is required. Be like the goddess Persephone, who descended to the underworld. In the patriarchal myth, it is said she was stolen by Hades, but that's not true. A goddess that powerful would never be stolen. In a matriarchal society, as it was, she would have been described as entering willingly and then deciding to have Hades as her partner. It was her choice. The Maiden of Translucence has her eyes closed, like the Fool of the traditional tarot deck. This is the card signifying the beginning of life's next magical adventure. She's letting go, and her winged bird steed is preparing to plunge into the cracked earth opening up before them. The forest branches beckon, come this way. When translucence appears, it's also a time to redefine your own parameters, protect your sanctuary, and willingly take the journey into the unknown, inner-verse of you. Feathers are shedding, the hand is beckoning, take the journey. This card is saying it's time to fall in love with the darkness. I got to be quick, guys, because my little guy's home. But the Fool is the beginning of the journey at the tarot, right? So what happens? He has to make that decision between jumping or being crushed to death as he dies to self, right? Then he meets the devil. He practices temperance. He learns about justice. But at the end, he ends up with the whole world. And all he has is every once in a while, you'll see him with a little dog. It depends on the tarot deck. And he has that fling thing on his back, the stick with the little tied up pouch. Nomeo, this is the beginning of something really big in your life, right? So whether it's a big lesson that needs to be learned or like a big step that you're taking, like, finding a new job or, and I know you're not doing that, but I'm using it as an example, or like, this is something really big. And I'm hoping it's a great lesson that you can learn, but that actually depends on you. How are you going to approach it? When you get offered something, are you going to take a leap of faith? Or are you going to ask a bajillion questions and put the energy off? And I'm not saying don't ask questions if you have them, but I feel like right now you should just accept what is. If something seems to be too good to be true in your case, it's not. Jump all over it. Take a leap of faith and allow the universe to not only catch you, but to work in your life. You don't have to know every single detail. You don't have to micromanage every single detail. Birthday girl, we're using myths and mermaids. I'm sorry I have to be a little bit quicker with them, guys, but still giving you everything I can.
If Dargo wants Cardi needs to let us know, then you got Black Dragon and you doing Casey and Lotus, right?
Yes.
Okay, then that's it.
Dargo, you still here? All right, girl. So you got a certain slant of light, card number 28. And I'm hearing already like it's about how you look at it. So let's see what the card says. A pensive mermaid lies in her grassy pond, waiting for an answer to come to her. A grand light shines from above, illuminating her and her surroundings in a moment of divine insight and understanding. Darkness and confusion are commonplace in this world, but don't worry. Illumination is coming, Heather, in the form of a new way of viewing your environment or situation. Like I said, new way of looking at things. Some call it divine insight and others enlightenment, but either way, be well prepared for a new perspective. A sudden shift in thinking will arise from the uncovering of unknown facts, options, or desires, opinions or desires. These new points will help you to understand where you are now and help you to answer some of the questions that have been gnawing at you for some time. Be prepared, though. The illumination might be subtle and easy to miss. Keep your eyes open and your spirit curious so that you do not miss out on the illumination you have been so long waiting for. So, girl, I feel like you remember how like we talked about that inner knowing that like something's up but you can't prove it, so it's easier to just go along pretending like it's not happening or pretending like you don't know. I feel like that quote unquote evidence is finally coming in, and actually I feel like it's inside of you already, so I don't think it's something outside of you that you have to like look for. I feel like it's going to be just like this instinct that pops up, Heather, and is like, you know what, that's it, that is it, that is how I'm going to do this in the next month. Okay, so we're not going to say a week or two. We're going to say the next month or so. So 3 to 4 weeks. I feel like you're just going to have this eureka moment about like either why you had to go through something, like you're learning a lesson, or the proof is that you've always wanted is going to be revealed. And I don't know if that's going to be a good thing. Let's use the example of your husband's cheating on you. I'm not saying he is. I'm using that as an example. So you don't have any proof, so you can pretend like it's not happening, even though you know deep down inside it is. Now that you have proof, you can't pretend anymore. You have to make a decision. That's what I'm getting. I feel like it's something big. It's going to hurt, but at the end of the day, you are so well prepared for it because you're so spiritually active and alert now that while it's going to hurt, it's not going to destroy you like it would have maybe 5 years ago or a year ago. It's like you're spiritually prepared for whatever this is. Who's next?
Dargo.
Sir Janus. Let's go with Halloween. Heather, you're so welcome. I'm sorry that was really quick. My little guy's home, but I hope you got what you needed out of it. If I had known it was your birthday, I would have gave you a full reading. Oh, geez. This is the flare, like the end flare of the shadow phase of the retrograde, Dargo. So hopefully after the 14th, everything will be kind of back to normal. I always use that analogy. Oh, Dargo, I will pray for you for healing and deliverance from whatever is ailing you, okay? And you have my number if you want to talk about it. Yeah, Melissa, that's not. Most of us in here did one time or another. All right. Dargo, you got the Skull of Light. I love this card. It comes out often. It's the card of illumination. Dargo, as the famous psychotherapist Jung suggested, knowing our own darkness helps us cope with the darkness of others. Taking the time to quote unquote know thyself and to seek understanding of our more destructive or shadow natures can lead to huge happiness and less anxiety. The idea of being shown the way in the most difficult of times and always knowing that we are never alone in the darkness are the keys to this magical element. Light is usually a comforting thing, yet sometimes we don't really want to see the boogeyman under the bed. It's too scary, too big, and we know not how to defeat it. Yet, by simply shining the torch upon such darkness, the victory is ours. Should the Skull of Light enter your life, know that it is time to open yourself fully to the clarity of bright illumination. Allow yourself to be seen, to see, and to act upon what is shown to you. The time is past for hiding, for pretending, and for swallowing our discomfort by accepting the status quo when it really doesn't suit us. Yeah, it is. And I think for a lot of people, this was actually the worst retrograde, I'm a mess, energetically that I've ever seen. Like ever before in my life. It affected so many people so negatively, myself included. I was ready to just delete my YouTube channel like several times. So I get it. There's something happening in your life, I feel like, that you've been doing for a long time or that you've been involved in for a very long time that I feel like you're going to come to a decision to move on from it. You've outgrown it. It could be a relationship. It could be a job. It could be literally anything. It could even be a hobby of yours. But there's something here that like no longer suits you and no longer fills your spirit. You're no longer really interested. I feel like this may affect other people, you pulling your energy out of this, but the universe is saying like, don't go along to get along, at least not in the next 2 weeks. Like be vocal about how you feel about stuff. Like if you don't want to do something, don't do it. And that goes for like people asking you for favors. I feel like you really need to relax, energetically connect, and make sure that you're putting yourself first, particularly with your physical health. Because the more you do things you don't want to do, the more you hang out with people that are vibrating lower than you, narcissists, toxic people, the more that takes out of you, like the cup I was just talking about. Where's the reciprocity, Dargo? Who is taking the energy, the wonderful, beautiful light energy you're putting out and transmuting it into the same thing and giving it back? And if you don't know the answer to that, then you need to start seeking out new people, but you also have to get in touch with your inner self. So I would start with aligning and maybe some grounding, and then looking around and seeing like, who is really there for me, right? And even if this person or these people don't accept my wish to pull away from this, I was going to say pull out, but y'all are immature, to pull away from this, that's on them though. You're not going out of your way to be unkind or mean or purposely trying to hurt them, but you shouldn't have to put yourself through it doing something you don't want to do. That's the worst. You're not being compelled or forced. Back out. Dargo, then you know what? That energy that you're putting out and not getting back, give it to yourself. That is a hard thing to learn to do, but honey, once you learn it, it is chef's kiss. Who's next?
Okay, Black Dragon. Then you can do your timestamps. But Black Dragon said if you didn't have time not to worry about him, but we know you.
Yeah. All right. It is. It takes a while, but like even like the first couple baby steps into being like, nah, I'm doing this for me today. And what? All right, Black Dragon. Repairing the veil, the card of forgiveness, card number 45. I may skip Casey's timestamp. She'll understand. I don't want to skip Lotus. I'm going to do Casey and Lotus's October's on Monday anyway. So, Black Dragon, forgiveness, making amends, recognition of unity. Between us all is a thin veil appearing to be a space that separates us. We look through this veil and believe ourselves to be distinct from one another. We assume that our thoughts and feelings are our own. We see Are we good?
Okay. You're good.
This veil serves as a mysterious illusion, making it so hard to believe in our inherent connection and unity. We can't always remember that what we do to someone else, we at the same time do to ourselves. When we claw at the veil out of fear, anger, jealousy, or resentment, manipulate other people, misuse power, or allow someone's actions to diminish us, we create a wound felt by many, not just those of us in the smaller direct relationship. Healing, forgiveness, and mending what is broken in your world is a sweet, much-needed declaration of freedom. So this is another card, Black Dragon, and I know you already know how to do that. That was my little guy turning on the TV downstairs and tapping into my already very weak Wi-Fi because I live in the woods and it stinks. I have to unplug everything before I can do this stream. This is another card of aligning, of giving back to self, of forgiving from afar. Forgiveness does not have to equal reconciliation, right? So this is you saying to all the people that hurt me, I'm not giving you any more of my energy. I'm not giving you any more of my thought energy, not my heart energy, or just my overall like actionable, like you're not getting any piece of me. Like I said to Dargo, this is a really hard thing to do. Good night, Joey. Thanks for coming in. But like you have to start somewhere. I feel like stepping into your power and not only setting boundaries. I say this all the time and people are always like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. We have to enforce the boundaries we set as well. And I feel like in the next week or two, you have to start doing that. There is definitely at least one person who is highly manipulative in your life and you're so aware of it, but like you allow it. And even if it's kind of like a fun game or a joke to you right now, like you don't really care that they're doing this, the fact that you're allowing them to do it is diminishing your energy. It's taking gulps from your water and not refilling. So this is kind of the same as for Dargo, but a little bit different because what the universe is asking you to do is say no more often, like Dargo, but call the people, like just say no, basically. Like don't be a yes man. Don't worry about, and this sounds really harsh, but don't worry about how someone else is going to feel when you won't do something for them or give them something when they've been manipulating this stuff out of you all along. Like I said, even if you're like, whatever, say someone's been manipulating you for money because they're in addiction and you have so much money, it really doesn't matter. Or it's your kids. You just, whatever, they'll grow out of it. That is diminishing your spirit. When you go along to get along in a negative way, it diminishes you. Black Dragon, you're way stronger than that. Next week or two, start saying no. Cut it off at the head like Skyla, because otherwise, if you put it off, it's going to get worse and worse and worse until you're so drained, confusion kicks in. You have to give all that energy that you're giving to ungrateful, manipulative, toxic people, relationship situations, and situationships to yourself. He's not lying, Melissa. I believe him. He says that to all the girls. But I do believe it. Oh, it is accurate. Okay, cool. I'm going to do Lotus Girl. Is that it then? Joey, we're ending after this reading anyway, so
yes, you're good to go.
Hanging out. Lotus, I'm gonna
go with your son.
I'm sorry, what? I didn't hear you.
I said yes, finish up so you can go be with your son.
We'll get to play Fortnite eventually. Monday. All right, Miss Lotus. Casey, I'm gonna read for you Monday for October. I know you'll understand. And that's what I know. I would catch a grenade for ya. I actually do believe you. And that's what's cool about it. All right, Miss Lotus girl. Card number 18, Danu, the card of assurance. I think you got this too already. Card number 10, Lotus. I think you got this recently. You got it in the upright. Empowerment message. Lotus, the appearance of the Celtic earth goddess Danu, who gave birth to magic, portends the fulfillment of your desires and the fruition of your dreams. Whatever it is that you're inquiring about, Danu gives her assurance that you're in the process of becoming. Now is the time to trust that whatever you have planted, planned, and worked toward is being lovingly birthed. All you need to do is stay in the flow of events and be ready for your next opportunity. Everything has its perfect season, just as fallow ground carries the promises of new life that appears again in the spring, as if magically bidden from the invisible to the visible. Danu offers her promises of grounded assurance. So yeah, Tennille, I know that you don't, nut slap, same. I know that you don't feel like this is true. You've been getting messages like this for at least the last 2 years, every month, every night that you come in here every week. And things have gotten better in certain areas, and then things have gotten worse in others. Your physical health and Porky's physical health is what bothers me the most here, because he's your husband. He's your twin flame, and you guys actually survived and got married. Twin flames almost never do that. And if they do, it doesn't last. The problem comes when both of you have this physically damaged energy and you're trying to take care of him, which takes energy. So you're using all of the little bit of energy you have to take care of him, which is, it's the right thing to do. Where do you go from here? But you have to figure something out, because you're going to end up in the hospital. If you don't take time for your wellness, you will be forced to take time for your illness. And I'm not lecturing you, but I tell you this as a sister, as a friend, almost, we talk at least once a week, at least. You're pushing yourself too far physically. You have physical ailments that you have to face. And yes, you go to the doctors, and yes, you do everything that you need to do. But the fact of the matter is, you're giving too much. And this feels so uncomfortable, because it's like, you can't not give to your husband. You have to find a way to rest. And if it means taking off work, like, Tennille, what's more important? Running a business and like making money? Yes, you need to. There has to be a way to take a time out, to take a day off, to make the business self-running. Because then you and him can cuddle and Netflix and chill in bed together and not have to worry. Yes, it'll take time, but at least start taking the steps towards it. Guys, I really, really, really have to go. Please, I'm begging you, if you can, that sounds so pathetic, donate to PayPal or Cash App. I want to get Ghost Dragons a birthday gift, and his birthday is next week. We'll be celebrating in stream, even though it's not on the day. I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. You guys are the actual best, and we'll see you next week. And then I think we're coming back with Afternoon Talk with me and Ghost Dragons. I think Ryan's in. I didn't get his answer yet, but I think he's in.
Yes, he is in.
All right, so not this coming Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. And Monday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern, I'm doing locked room murders. So murders that the police got there, the whole place, windows bolted and iron bars outside, doors dead bolted from the inside, no way to get in or out, and the person's dead. So I got tons of those, and I'm going to do the pre-recordeds until I find something else that'll make me more than 64 cents a month for 10 hours of work. I love you guys so much. Good night.
See you on the flip side, folks.